kiss you.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah! You want to run or you want to duck down? You want to duck, just go over there and get onto the bench and stay there.
You play to win the game.
My message for the fans, we're all frustrated with where we are right now.
Jets, Jets.
Well, hello, everybody. Good afternoon and evening and morning for our people in the UK. Why are you still awake? What is it? It's 1 a.m. in the UK, and I'm amazed. 1 a.m. I haven't seen. Well, I saw 1 a.m. last night, but let me tell you, I was not happy about it. Everybody, I was tired. I don't know how you do it, Phil. I don't know how you do it over there, guys. Welcome to this week's installment of the Thursday Thick of It. I'm GreenBean. I'm happy that you are here. It is going to be a good one. We have some interesting subject matter to discuss, and we have a great guest to do it. I confirmed last time we had him on, or we were scheduled to have him on, last minute. He was unable to do it because of the perceived Aaron Rodgers urgency. Any minute it could happen. That's what was going on. So we have him tonight. Connor Hughes will be with us at just about 9 p.m., maybe a little bit before 9 p.m., and we will get it going before then. Guys, before we get started, I do want to say thank you for being here. If you are feeling gratuitous, you can do a couple things. One is get those milk thumbs going. Get those milk thumbs going, everybody. That is the like button, the thumbs up button. Go ahead and hit that. YouTube loves it, and it helps our algorithmic impact. That's what it does. The other thing, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do. It is appreciated. And again, that's how we grow subscribers. That's how we do it. And I appreciate all of you who are already subscribed. It is just a wonderful thing to do. You can see in the chat, all the stream beaners are here dropping their emojis. I'm going to drop a couple in there right now for you guys. This is for you right here. Here we go. We'll do that one. And you can have fun with the emojis and get free super chats by joining the stream beaners. The join button right below the screen. It's nice and easy. It is appreciated. That helps the channel a great deal. And before we get really going, I want to remind you of our sponsor, none other than the world famous Manscaped, everybody. Now, let me tell you this, something I noticed. Thank you very much. I forgot my Chewy. No, this is not a Chewy pen. This is not a Chewy pen. I need a Chewy pen. They're on my dresser on the left-hand side. Give me a wrong pen. You can't bring a hard pen to chew. You got to chew. I mean, chew like a Bic. I got to chew on a pen. So I need my Chewy pen, everybody. But Manscaped, I was in a store and I saw this, which just shows how big Manscaped is getting, everybody. I saw the other world-famous trimmer brand. I'll leave their name out of it, but another world-famous trimmer. They have a new product called the Manscaper. Oh, somebody's scared. That's what's going on. So now they're biting off our good friends at Manscaped, the finest in men's below-the-waist grooming, and now on the face grooming with the Beard Hedger trimmer. Guys, we just gave away the Lawnmower 4.0 last week to a lucky winner, which we will be having contests again tonight. We'll explain that in just a few minutes. But the Lawnmower 4.0 was the Testicular Cancer Awareness Month model. April is Testicular Cancer Awareness Month. I want to draw your attention to how few people are wearing purple. You know, when it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we all care, as we should. We all wear pink. You see it everywhere. But what about us? What about our balls? Nobody cares about our balls. It's time that we do. Manscaped is out there raising awareness for testicular cancer, the number one cancer from men 18 to 35. It is time that we raise the awareness and increase funding for treatment. That's what Manscaped is doing. Guys, they're a great company with great products. You can save 20% by using the promo code GreenBean at checkout, and that comes with free international shipping, if you can believe that. So go ahead. I put the link in the description of this video for you. Click on it, shop, check out GreenBean, 20% free shipping. You got your Manscaped. Testicular Cancer Awareness Month is in full effect. Guys, thank you. And thank you, Manscaped, for sponsoring the Thursday Think of It. With that all said, let us bring on our esteemed co-host. You love him. You know him. You are ready for him. Let's say hello to the world famous Gunny. What's up, dude? How you doing?
GreenBean, how you doing? How you doing? Excited as always to be here. Man, so the Manscaper trying to bite off of Manscaped, huh?
See that?
I mean,
right, come on. Like, they had 100 years to say the word Manscape.
Yeah. I'll say this, the most awesome form of flattery is to be mimicked. So, you know what I'm saying? They should look at it as a positive aspect when they're being mimicked to this extent anyway. But, yeah, I mean, great product. We understand why. I'm excited about tonight's show.
Yeah, well, you should be. It's a good show, and I'm excited to be with everybody. I mean, this is a good thing. Last night, Gunny, I'm not sure if you saw this. I went live. I dropped my son off at a concert in Richmond with his friend. I had to pick him up at 4:30 and get there at 7 or whatever. And I thought the show was going to end at like 9. I was told on the way, oh, no, this is till 11. I'm like, oh, my God. So I'm going to sit here for 4 hours, man. I'm going to be sitting in this parking lot for 4 hours. So my son goes into the show, metal, heavy, like that stuff. And they're in there. And so I decide to go live. And out of nowhere, this guy just punches my car while I'm live. You got a Chewy pen? No, this is not going to do it. Hold on. I have to take care of this. They're on my dresser. They're in a bag. Yeah, there's like maybe 8 of them left, 6 of them left. My left side. Just look at the whole thing. Maybe it's in the middle. Just look everywhere for my Chewy pens, Gunny. What is this madness? They keep bringing me. These things are hard as a rock, dude. I'm gonna have no teeth.
Nah, you got to protect your teeth.
Right. So I need, the ones, right? They're big. Like pop
the
up
big
the top
ones.
No, they're
I know
chewy.
exactly what you're talking about.
Go get me a damn Chewy pen, please. I'm freaking out. No, it's on a Ziploc. It's in a bag for pens. It says like pens. It's like in a cellophane bag. Just look, you'll see pens. They're gray. I take this kid to a concert. He came and give me a Chewy pen. So this guy runs up and punches my car while I'm live. And I'm like, what's up? And he's like, screw you. Like I did something. So this is what happens. So I'm like looking forward to getting here with you. It's tough out there. I want to just sit here in our comfort zones and talk Jets calmly. You know what I mean? It's scary out there. I didn't know it was so scary, Gunny.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It seems like more and more people are getting bolder and bolder and bolder, and I can't, for the life of me, fathom whether or not these individuals really want to scrap, or is because they understand the aspect of the legal ramifications. It is now to strike somebody nowadays, and they're banking on that. It's just weird to kind of get an idea.
They're banking on us not scrapping with it.
Exactly.
That's why I think that's more along the lines of what it is. People are no longer. Everybody thinks they can say and do what they want now.
Whatever they want. Yeah.
In my day, Gunny, you open your mouth, you got a good swift pop to the chops. That's the way it went.
If you're gonna open your mouth, better be able to back it up.
That's right. And you go, you know what? On second thought, I regret what I said. I'm very sorry. Chewy pen. All right, we got the Chewy. Thank you, buddy. Get this thing chewed in a minute.
Third time's the charm.
That's right. E-Boogie checking in. What's up, buddy? Thank you for the super chats. Good to see you. E-Boogie is a stream beaner and a beanbagger. I love me some E-Boogie. Name your top 10 NFL prospects of the 2023 class. Well, for the Jets or just in general? I mean, what do you think that means, Gunny? You mean, do you think he means just top 10?
I think he wants to talk about maybe in general. Yeah, it has to be in general. The Jets don't have 10 they're not going to even have 10 picks.
That's a great distinction.
I would go with in general.
In general. So, all right, why don't you start? Who's your number one prospect? If you could have your druthers, number one, who's your guy?
My number one guy is Paris Johnson.
Ooh.
I am totally like that's just like man crush on Paris Johnson. I think he's going to be the top of the tier in terms of the offensive tackles in this draft, and that level of ability to be on our roster, be a staple at that tackle position for over the next decade plus. Every time I think about it, I get really excited. So for me, top of the board for me is definitely Paris Johnson.
Paris Johnson. All right, my number one prospect, and I don't want the Jets to take him, interestingly enough. Not that I would love it if they did, but I just think we have other needs and all this sort of stuff, right? But
Okay.
is Will Anderson is my number one.
That's a good one.
Prospect. Okay,
Yeah.
that's my number one. Now, no, we're not going to make this an all night. We'll each do 5 for you.
Okay.
How's that? Who's your number 2?
My number 2 guy in terms of individuals that I like. It's gonna sound ridiculous a little bit, right? But in all actuality, this kid Kalijah Kancey, I keep saying his name wrong,
he's my
but
3,
Kalijah
dude.
Kancey. Yeah,
Yep.
I keep the more and more I watch on this dude, the more and more I'm seeing the Aaron Donald comparisons, and both of them coming from Pitt, they similar size factors. I get giddy thinking what that would look like next to Quinnen Williams. So he's steadily climbed on my board on individuals that I would love to see the Jets grab. Won't be possible. You know what I'm saying? I think offensive tackle is a priority. But Kalijah Kancey, for me, is definitely one of those dudes that I've kind of fallen for in this draft.
Yeah. Very interesting. My number 2, but I'm with you, man. He's my number 3. So there you go, E-Boogie. Number 2 for me is I'm gonna. It's again, I don't want to see us take him up here necessarily. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go different. I'm gonna go with Paris Johnson for my number 2. Okay. I love him. I think he's going to be fantastic. I think he's plug and play too. He might have. He's a rookie, so he's going to have some issues, but I think he's going to be the cleanest coming in. I think he's got the best chance to look the part the soonest. Okay. And I like him a lot. So you have Paris Johnson and Kancey. I got Anderson and Johnson. Now I'll start. I'm gonna go. Like I said, I got Kalijah Kancey as my number 3. Who's your number 3?
Okay, so my number 3 guy. Again, this is not based off of what we've seen on the field, but rather than what the potential of this guy can be. I've really started to freaking fall in love with Tyree Wilson. Tyree Wilson at 6'6", 275 pounds is just a freak of nature athletically, and a lot of people got to realize we're probably going to be out of Carl Lawson's contract. It pretty much is expired next season. JF, there's a couple of guys right now that on our defensive line, the heart and soul of our defense, that might not be on the roster after next season, right? So having somebody in line like a guy like freaking Tyree, who I think, can go ahead and add to his repertoire of pass rusher moves. But with that level of athleticism, I just see, sacks after sacks. And he's definitely grown on me over the last couple of weeks, as well as I watch more and more film of the prospects.
Very interesting. I like him too. I'm gonna. It's funny because these are. It's not necessarily saying that I think the best guy, but these are the guys I like, right? That's what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I like these guys. Now I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say it. I'm in the John Michael Schmitz camp. I love this guy. Okay. I want the Jets to get him. If we got to use a 5th or I don't care. Move up, get him, jump who you need to jump to bring him in. The good news is I got word that the Jets feel the same way about this guy and that they may be aggressive. I have some news. So guys, we're going to talk about this news and then I'm going to get confirmation of these things, or I'm going to get told that they're not right. By Connor Hughes. I have some nice questions for Connor. We're going to check some things, fact check a few things when Connor Hughes gets here in a little while. But I'm going to say, dude, one of the things that I was told just yesterday, someone called me, a very, very reliable source, and told me the Jets are absolutely in love with John Michael Schmitz and Tippmann. But they're definitely drafting a center on the front end of the draft. That's what I was told yesterday.
Well, that's good to hear. That's really good to hear. Yes.
That's good news. So I'm John Michael Schmitz for my 4. Where are you with your 4, you think?
Oh, man, since you went center, I'm going to go ahead with my favorite center. Tyler Whippler is my guy. For me, you're looking at another individual that I think has a level of athleticism that you just can't teach. And he's just smooth. I think him next to, Elijah Vera Tucker and hopefully a better Laken Tomlinson could be. I like his age too. He's 22 years old, right? Whereas JMS, not saying he's not. I think JMS is the most polished and ready to play now. I think when it comes to the ceiling, though, I think Tyler Whippler has that ceiling. So for me, he's the guy that I'm hoping the Jets wind up getting. But there's nothing in me that'll be upset if it's JMS. There's nothing in me that's gonna be upset about that either.
Right, I feel the same way. There's a few. I love Stromberg.
Yeah.
There's a few, but I want to just make sure. Like this happens to us all the time, but it's Luke Whippler.
Is it Luke Whippler?
Yeah, you
I
said
keep messing
Tyler.
that up.
It's okay.
Tyler Whippler.
I know I do
Yeah.
it all the time. There's guys that I say wrong 100% of the time. So I'm going to
Appreciate
do
the
this,
correction.
even though I have refused to talk tight ends all off season, man. I am in love with 6'6", 285 pounds, Darnell Washington. I see Eric Craig is jumping on it as well. Dude, I love him. I mean, I think the Jets are drafting a tight end. That's the weird part about it.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it seems odd. I was surprised by the Rucker pick. I like the Rucker pick. I'm all in Rucker, Camp Rucker. But I think that we're going to do. We brought in 4 tight ends for the top 30. Like, what is that?
Man.
I mean, what are we doing? We're looking at tight. You got to remember, it's a whole new offensive staff, man.
This is true.
Whole new
This
offensive
is true.
staff. So I think getting a guy like Darnell Washington, I don't know if the Jets lean his way or whatever, but dude, I mean, the guy's a thunderous blocker. He's like an extra lineman, and I don't know. I love him. I love a lot of these tight ends. I love the,
it's a deep tight end class. It's
really
a pretty
is.
deep tight end class.
Yeah. So I'm really. I think that's what's going to. Who's your number 5?
My number 5 is Broderick Jones. Broderick Jones is another one that I've enjoyed watching his tape this past during this process.
Broderick Jones.
He's got one of the highest pass blocking grades in this offensive tackle class. Just a big savage animal, and to have him to secure one of the ends on the line. I know a lot of people are saying he probably doesn't give you versatility in terms of being able to play on the inside, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with him being the guy that you put on the left or on the right side and just letting him put in work. I like the upside of a Broderick Jones. I know he's a little bit raw, and there's a lot of polish that needs to be put on this kid. But if I'm giving you a guy that I just loved, I just enjoyed watching, Broderick Jones is somebody I just enjoyed watching.
Yeah, I like Broderick Jones too. So there it is. There's our top 10 for you. I mean, and again, there's just so many players I'd be happy with, truth be told. But there it is. So there you go, E-Boogie. Ryan King is checking in. He says, thank you, Ryan. Oh, and I'll use this as a reminder. So our contests for tonight, we're giving away a free GreenBean t-shirt tonight. The way to get in the contest is every super chat over $5 is automatically entered. If we have it every week. People do more than one. If you do 2, you get 2 entries. You do 12, you get 12 entries. So that's how we do it here. It is all greatly appreciated, my friends. And Ryan King, excuse me, you are first up with the contest. You are entered into the contest. So he says, JD, best GM in Jets history. JD will belong in the Ring of Honor. Well, hey, Ryan, I love how you're feeling, all that positivity. Gunny, do you think he's on to something? You think best in Jets history? I mean, how loose is the gravel that that JD is standing on right now? Is he on solid ground? Is he if this season goes wrong, is he out? Where do you think he stands?
I think he's on solid ground, right? I think that whenever you go ahead and draft the defensive rookie of the year and the offensive rookie of the year, and it's only been happened 3 times in NFL history, that individual in himself, rates a little bit more leeway. I know a lot of people are like, well, he got the quarterback wrong, but congratulations. It's the most difficult position in all of sports to get right. It has one of the highest bust rates in all of positions in all of sports to get right. So for me, when people say, well, he got the quarterback wrong, it wasn't just the Jets who like Zach Wilson, guys. There was a lot of people that like Zach Wilson. It wasn't just him. A lot of people would have been potentially wrong with that pick. For me, I think he at the very minimum rates finishing out his contract, but I'm with Ryan. I love JD. I love everything he's done thus far, the turnaround, understanding what he inherited when he had to go ahead and become the GM of the Jets, how he had to go ahead and dismantle that team to build it up. We were pretty much, some would call us pretty much one of those college level freaking, talent-wise, but we weren't meant to be in the NFL. An expansion franchise level talent, right? And he's brought us from that to where we are now, where you've got guys like, Aaron Rodgers wanting to be a New York Jet, right? Individuals want to come here to play for the Jets. I love what the guy has done. If you gave him a decade-long contract right now, I wouldn't blink an eye. I'd be all about it. But I think before we crown him the GOAT, let's go ahead and see a couple more winning seasons, or a couple of winning seasons under.
Well, yeah, right. Let's see one. Let's see one winning season. But I'm with you, man. I love JD. I think that the job he was tasked with wasn't come in here and win games right away. Of course, that's what you try to do. But he had to tear this shit ass franchise that had just been allowed to fester and rot for a decade or more. He had to gut it and do all that and then build on it. And look, in 3 years, it's a completely different environment. I mean, again, dude, we just had Aaron Rodgers say publicly before the world, my intention is to play, and my intention is to play with the New York Jets. And he's now coming out. We'll talk about this in a little while, but he's coming out with all sorts of, there are reports coming out about him, recruiting people or attempting to recruit people, saying things like it's the Jets or nothing. So the Packers are losing leverage by the minute. Packers fans, I'm sure, are having a lot of fun with it. I think JD at the end of the day is going to get the exact deal that he wants, and he'll once again show his worth on, his patience. Like, we all have this urgency out here. I think that's normal, right? We just want to know it's done. We don't want to, we still think it can fall through. So that's the whole problem, right? That's where our urgency comes from. But Aaron Rodgers is saying, don't worry about it, man. We're good. And so is JD's. Relax, everybody. I got this. I've been doing this for a long time. I know what I'm doing. I got it. So I'm with you there, Ryan. I think JD's a studmeister, dude. I really do. And the fact that I said studmeister shows that I am not a studmeister. So I apologize for saying such a ridiculous statement. Forgive me. Now, look, I saw Jets. I'm going to tell you guys something. Last night I did a stream on this, but I got some really interesting news yesterday. Now, I'll feather these throughout the show. And again, when Connor comes on, Connor Hughes, who will be on in a little while, I'm going to ask him these questions and see if he's heard anything one way or the other. But I was given a couple reports yesterday, one of which I cannot speak of, and this one I can. So the word coming out of OTAs is already Denzel Mims's attitude has turned off this new offensive staff. Now, Jets Forever says Hackett loves Mims. That's what would be my assumption too. It's the exact type of receiver he likes. Again, it's early. Aaron Rodgers isn't even there. There's a lot of reasons to say everybody slow down. But the report coming out is that they are not all that into how he's going about himself the first couple of days of OTAs. The report was overtly negative. That says the new coaching staff isn't really digging him so far. And how could that be so quickly? Well, maybe the interviews, conversations, he's just kind of seems like, he doesn't give a shit. Or now Mims has that kind of introverted thing where he gets accused of being disinterested or aloof, only since being on the Jets, only the last 2 years, but it seems to be happening again right now. I hope not, but that's the report I got, dude. So Jets Forever, again, I'm with, I'm a Mimsy. I'm in Camp Mimsy, but it seems like that might not be the case. Gunny, how do you feel about that? You think just your first impression, you think that could be real? You think, where do you stand on that one?
I struggle to buy that only because we saw how tactfully he requested a trade last year in before the season kicked off, right? Understanding that he wanted a larger role in the offense. When he realized it wasn't going to be possible, he requested a trade, but he did so in a professional matter. When it was denied, he still came out there and gave it his all when he was on the field. I think when it comes to Mims, I don't know if it's a mindset, man. I think that he needs to understand he needs to earn those extra reps. With guys like Garrett Wilson popping off, you got Alan Lazard, who's proven he can play at this level. You got Mecole Hardman, who's proven he can play at this level. Maybe he's feeling some type of way in regards to how much depth we now have in that wide receiver room. I would like to say I don't buy it. I really would, but I would have never thought that, freaking Elijah Moore would have been requesting a trade again in the offseason after we got rid of freaking the OC situation. So for me, it's concerning to be hearing this. I want to say I don't believe it, but I've been proven wrong before in believing too much in one of our younger wide receivers. So, man, that's disheartening to hear.
It is disheartening to hear, and I hate it. This thing, like, look, I said last night, like, clearly I'm invested in this friggin' Mims character, right? Like, clearly,
Same here.
I've been defending him like it's been like bullets, for years. I really want to believe in him, and I do still believe in him. And again, it's really early, so I'm not going to get nuts, but that was certainly not what I wanted to hear. I can't wait to ask Connor Hughes about that one and some others. I see you guys in here. Everybody, look at all these guys. It's so great to have all you guys in here. Bradigan's here. Whitechapel. That's exactly it. It was Whitechapel in Richmond. Bradigan. He's got. I mean, dude, my son. He's got like 9 shows lined up. Lorna Shore, whatever. All these shows. But Bradigan's a true metalhead, so he knows. Hater says Beans and Gunny. You're right, but it's the reason I thank God every day for our Second Amendment. God bless America. No place else. Signed Chris Rock. Yeah, it's funny. That's what made me laugh. Well, look, dude, the Second Amendment wouldn't have applied last night. I would have just fattened this guy's face. That's what I would have done. He would have had a lot of what we call raspberries growing out of his face. That would have been it. But so let's see. Phil Adams from the UK. This time last year, 90%, not Jets forever, of us had Jets taking edge first. Will JD surprise us again? I'm telling you, man, I was so disappointed when we got past 10 and didn't take an edge rusher. I couldn't believe it. Do you think JD surprises us again, Gunny? What do you think about it? You think like we're all assuming he's going to go tackle? You think he pulls up and goes cornerback, wide receiver, maybe JSN or something?
In all actuality, I sit here thinking to myself, there's no way it doesn't happen. But we've heard a lot of rumblings that they're actually quite comfortable with the offensive tackle, the offensive line room, right? They understand that last year health was a big concern, a big issue. And you're hearing all too often that there's a level of comfort with that, of course, minus the center position. I would like to believe there's no freaking way that's what happens. I like to believe there's no way we don't come out with one of the top offensive tackles this year in this draft. But I would have also told you, even though I loved Sauce Gardner last year, I never believed for a minute he was an option for the number 4 overall pick. I just didn't believe it was an option. So in all actuality, with JD, man, you just don't know. You just don't know. But if I had to put money on it, I believe it's too important to go ahead and make sure that Aaron Rodgers is standing up in the pocket to deliver those strikes. So I'm going to go with no way he doesn't go offensive tackle with that 13th overall pick. I struggle to see him passing up on one of those guys if they're available.
Yeah, I tend to feel the same way. I mean, he could. I mean, let's say they only like Paris Johnson and Skronsky at that pick, and they're both gone, something like that. I could see them surprising us slightly and going maybe defensive tackle, something like that.
Right.
Linebacker. I'll tell you what, I almost mentioned him in the list. It's Jack Campbell's another one, dude. That guy is an absolute monster. I mean, he is going to be the next great linebacker. And I mean, I'm convinced. I think, dude, he's got everything you want. He's that prototypical linebacker. He's exciting to watch. I don't think the Jets are going to get him, but I would love it. He's my kind of football player. E-Boogie checking back in. He's, hey, fellas, what position you guys feel will be hit with the injury? I can't answer this, E-Boogie.
Yeah, I refuse to answer that.
This is bad luck. And
This is bad juju.
You can't do it. I'll tell you what. I'll answer it this way, E-Boogie. And thank you for the super chat. You're in the contest, buddy. I'll answer it this way. I sincerely hope it's not the friggin' tackle position again. I mean, I don't want – see, that's the thing is what position would you want it to be? I'm hoping that the Jets are moving past this injury thing. Like, look, dude, the truth is last year, outside of the offensive line and in particular the tackles, we were healthier than we've been in a long, long time, dude. I mean, like 5-6 years. I mean, we were decimated with injuries in years past. And this year we kind of did all right. That new medical staff, it looks like it might be kind of settling in. Their programs are taking shape, their nutrition protocols, their workout regimens and all those kinds of things. Remember, they talk about player-specific protocols. They're not just doing a one-size-fits-all. And the doctor said he's looking to change the NFL. That's what he said. I want what we do here to be, imitated. That's what I want to see. So we're doing some cutting edge stuff. Hopefully the injury thing is a thing of the past, Boogie. But I can't do it. I feel like I'm in a jinx, dude. Gunny feels the same way. We can't do that. Ryan King checking back in. What's up, Ryan? He says JD is like flex. No leaks and you see culture change. Starts at the top. Well, that's one thing about Flex Seal. Culture change, right? Anytime you use it, you're changing the culture in your own home. But it's the truth. JD he runs a tight ship, Gunny. He really does.
Yes.
We talked about when he came in here, it didn't take him very long to identify a couple scouts that were leaking, and he chopped their heads right off. Get out. That's what he did. And anything we hear is kind of either it's by his design, he lets it out, or it's coming from the outside source, like the Packers are saying shit, or the agent is saying shit. You think it's a positive, man, that he doesn't let anything out?
I love it. Absolutely love it, right? When you're the general and you're trying to go ahead and strategize and make sure that you're putting all the pieces together for you to make your unit the best prepared in order to win a battle, the last thing you want is the enemy getting the game plan. That's the last thing you want. And for me, I absolutely love how JD runs a tight ship. And it's a stark difference from what we're accustomed to in the past, right? We used to know what the first couple of picks were going to be in the draft before they were even drafted. We kind of knew where the direction was going. We kind of knew the free agents were going to be happening before they even signed. Like, it's something that we, as Jets fans, have had the pleasure of being a part of the process because we knew what was going to happen, which means other teams, other organizations.
That's right. It's like as much as we like it, we want to consume stuff. It's not good for the overall goal, which is to friggin' be an organization that can win and get what their desired results accomplished. Yeah.
So I love it. I absolutely love it. How he operates.
I love it too, Ryan. Matt O'Leary, my good buddy, is in the house.
Matt?
What's up, Matt? It's good to see you. And I'll say too, I see NYJ today. I say this every week. I'm confused. I haven't seen the answer. I know John was NYJ today, but he switched to Jets today. And now there's an NYJ blog in here. I don't know if it's John. I mean, hello, NYJ today, of course. Doesn't matter who you are. I'm happy you're here, of course. But if it's John, I want to say hello to John because I've done shows with him and stuff. But Jeremy seems to think it's John. But I'm not so sure. Jeremy, can you find out if it's John? How do we find out? Hold on, I'm going to bring Jeremy on. He's saying stuff. I want to say, wait, what'd you say?
I'll try to find out. I'll try to click on the logo and see if it brings me to his channel or something. Because that's one way to find out. You can track it by clicking on it. So,
really?
If I can find it, yeah.
On YouTube.
I'll see if I can figure it out for you, and I'll let you know.
Let me see here. Let me put up a couple of Stream Beaner gnomes for everybody. There you go. Enjoy the gnomes, everybody. So, all right, let's see here. I don't know. I mean, again, even if you're not,
he just said no, not John.
See,
Frank, longtime listener.
What's his name? Frank.
Okay,
all right.
I'm corrected.
What's up? There you go, Frank. So I said to Jeremy in the problem, like, I'm not so sure that's John. You know what I mean? But you know what? It's Frank, Jeremy.
It's Frank.
I'm fucking happy it's Frank.
I missed you, Frank. I'm sorry.
Frankie. What's up, Frank? It's good to have you here, buddy. O'Leary likes Frank. I'm sure of it. You said Ali's in here too?
Yeah. Loyal official Jet fan.
Yeah, I can't see him, but Ali, what's up, buddy? I can't see your comment, but I trust Jeremy, other than being wrong on John and Frank, of course. But
definitely right about Ali because he's got the little wrench. He's got the little wrench.
That's good. All right. Thank you, Jeremy.
All right.
There he goes. So he's like, I'm telling you, it's him. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if it is or not. But anyway, Frankie, it's good to have you here, Frank. All right. Let's see what else we got here. So let's see. Big Al, what's up? He says, Mims is discouraged due to the Lazard and Hardman sign. He's going to have to earn a spot. Yeah, maybe, right? I mean, he's definitely not – he's not being given a damn thing. That much is clear, right, Gunny? I mean, he's –
Facts.
You know, you'd like – I mean, I guess if it's in his shoes, I've been here 3 years, 2 years with this regime. You'd think that they'd, pencil me in as the 4? Like, what is this? Can I be the 3? Like, can I be – come on.
And I get where you're coming from, right? It makes sense, but – I don't know, man. Playing sports, I even when I started one season as varsity, I never thought the next year that one of those JV guys was going to come for my spot, right? Or some new transfer coming into high school was going to come for my spot. I always felt like I had to have my mind right to make sure I was still competing to earn my spot. That's what competitors do. So for me, whenever I hear this kind of stuff, it kind of frustrates me because I like Mims. I like him a lot. But you got to have your mind right as a competitor to believe you can compete with anyone and everyone. And yeah, granted, he might not be that dude. He might not be able to play at the level of those guys. But mentally speaking, you can't just be going into OTAs with the mentality of voluntary workouts. With the mentality,
I said OTAs too. Thank
voluntary
you.
workouts. With the idea or the thought process that like, oh my God, I want to leave here because I can already tell I'm not going to go and have a shot. That to me is actually more concerning than him making the request for the trade last year.
Now look at this. This is Kuka. I love you, buddy, but that is completely false. That is not. I mean, do you not remember his entire rookie year?
Rookie season,
Do you not remember when they let him play 3 plays in the opening day game in 2021? He got a 50-something yard pass. You not like when he's given so few opportunities, man. It's hard to come in for 5% of the plays and make a huge impact. Like it's harder to do that. Like they say it all the time, like with running backs, like when you give a running back 5 carries a game, they're not going to do shit. They need to get into the flow. They need to be able to feel the game, read their block. They need to get into that.
Momentum.
And when you don't do that, it's like, you build that chemistry of the game. You get a feel of it. And the whole thing with Mims and making him learn 3 positions. Again, dude, if he sucks, he sucks. My problem is that we don't even know if he sucks. Like they play him so sparingly. And it's aggravating because he's got measurables and a college career and a rookie season that were extremely promising. A rookie season, NFL. He did it last year in the Patriots game. He turned a 10-yard pass into a 55-yarder. He caught that 3rd down on the goal line to keep us in the Buffalo game to win the game. He made the block that broke Breece Hall open on the. I mean, dude, put him out there. Just play him as a member of the team. That's what I'm asking. That's it. Like, why is again 2021? Why is Tariq Black? Why is Jeff Smith playing over Denzel Mims? That's my question. Why? That's what I don't understand. We don't like. He looks. I don't like his feet. I don't like how he walks. I don't like how he walks. I don't like the way
he's too tall. He's too tall for my liking.
Right. It's silliness. Now again, like if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Dude, I believe in the player, and I hate seeing guys get raw deals. And if you're not going to do it, then trade him. Give him a career. We're like, I don't know. Anyway, but the report is the report, dude. Again. This is a valuable source that I have, and it's not Connor Hughes. I'm going to ask Connor Hughes if he's heard anything like that. But it's a source that contacts me every now and then and says, "Hey, I got something for you." And I say, "Can I use it?" And he goes, "No." But this one he did. He gave me something on Becton too. So I got good news too. We'll talk about it. I'll ask Connor Hughes about this one too. But I'll tell you guys. I want to get down here to the super chat. I see a super chat. I'll do this and then I'll tell you some good Becton news. If you were with me last night when I was getting attacked and accosted in Richmond, you heard this already, but I'll tell this crew tonight. Scarcities or scarcity. I think it's scarcities. Checking in. Thank you for the super chat, man. He says, this narrative that we need to draft an offensive tackle at 13 is ridiculous. We have 4 guys currently on the roster who can all start and at least be good enough. Why add a 5th just because? Take the best player. Well, while I happen to like the 4 guys you're talking about, I do. It is almost ridiculous scarcities to depend on them. Dwayne Brown, maybe, okay, but he's old and he was injured last year, okay? He missed the first, 4 games, and then he played injured the rest of the year. So there's that. He's going to be 66 years old or something like that, I think.
66, 67.
Yeah, something like that. Mekhi Becton, who I love and I still believe in, looks great. Everything's on board. But let's be real. He's played 3 quarters in 2 seasons. Depending on that guy would be foolhardy. Then you got Max Mitchell. Love Max Mitchell. Believe in Max Mitchell. I liked him as a prospect. Happy that the Jets drafted him. Thought he played well last year. He's got the blood clot thing. That was a very sudden, weird thing. He just got benched right away, and then we found out we don't know the severity of that. We don't know. And then you got Cedric Abouye, who I love that they re-signed. I had him in my offseason plan. I thought they should re-sign him. He's depth, dude. He can come in and start a game for you just like we saw. He can come in, give you a nice, solid depth performance, but then you want to get him off the field. 1-2 games, that's what you want to use him for. If he needs to start, fine, but that happens, of course. But nobody on like the idea that we're good, I don't know. And then not for nothing, next year, Dwayne Brown's on his last year. What if Dwayne Brown goes? Then you got to draft a rookie next year. So I think it makes a ton of sense, Scares. I hear you, and I like the guys too. I do, and I think honestly, if I'm talking with my heart, I think the Becton injury thing is over. I'm gonna knock on some wood. I just freaked myself out, Gunny. This is my heart talking. The injury thing is over. He just turned 24 years old 2 days ago, and he's gonna come out and be our left tackle for the next 10 years. That's my heart. And I believe that's possible. That said, data says otherwise. Okay. It's my heart doing that, dude. It's my heart. Gunny, what do you think about what Scares sees? Do you think that it's ridiculous that the Jets, quote, need to draft an offensive tackle at 13? We could wait till the second, maybe. I don't know. What do you think?
I just think it's ridiculous that after seeing what we saw last year, that we wouldn't feel it's a need. And I get where he's coming from. I get it. Scarcity. It makes sense. We've got individuals who can start at the respective positions on the offensive line, minus the center, right? That's a must. We got to get a starting level center, hopefully in the draft if we don't get Ben Jones, or maybe both. But I think I saw an interesting stat from Buffalo Jetsfan the other day. The combined, our offensive tackles played together for like 40-something% of the snaps this season. That means 60-something% of the snaps were just left out there because they were injured. They were alternating so much. You can't go into this season where we're putting so much capital into bringing in Aaron Rodgers. You've got these young guys right now who exploded onto the scene, and Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson. The defense right now is playing elite, and just wasted on hoping that, hey, what happened last year where half of our offensive line was obliterated doesn't happen again. You got to go in there at least thinking, you know what, there's a 25% chance possibility that we're going to lose an offensive tackle or one of our guards. It's just that's failing to prepare. If we don't grab an offensive tackle, bring in one that's a starting caliber somehow, whether they trade for one, they draft one, you've got to have another starting caliber offensive tackle on this roster, because if you're not, you're failing to prepare. Last year showed us that. We kept our offensive line together with duct tape, literally with duct tape to get through the season. Yeah, I mean, I understand where you're coming from.
Chopsticks, man.
That's pretty much. But now I'm on the opposite side of that narrative. I think we need an offensive tackle, and it terrifies me to think that we wouldn't grab one early in this draft.
I'm with it. Now, again, Scarcity, I think we both agree. Like, we see where you're coming from, but we respectfully disagree that it's ridiculous. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good bet. It's safe. And I think the good news is that it really won't be a reach. There are a nice little group of tackles that are absolutely worth the 13th pick. That's the good news. So I think it's a good, solid place to go. And look, man, again, my report says they're going tackle in the first and they're going center. I mean, it could be center first. It could, if they slide back, it could be center first. They're in love with John Michael Schmitz. They want him. So I was told that. Now, I'll tell you this. I want to say I found the Ali. I just want to put him up there. Where'd it go? Shit, I lost it again. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. There you are, Ali. I see you, buddy. It's nice. I love you too, man. I love Ali, dude. He's one of my faves. Truly. Let's see. So thank you, man. I appreciate it. Jay-Z Jets fan. So Jay-Z wants to know, Gunny, so I'll tell you the Becton thing, but he wants to know, last night I insinuated, I think I might have just said it here too. My brain is mushy, so I don't know. There was one report that I was given that I'm not allowed to tell anyone.
Okay.
Now, he wants to know if I can give a hint. How about this? I won't give a hint, but I'll give you 5 players that it could be about. How's that sound? Does that sound good? All right, that work? Jay-Z's like 5, 3, 5. It could be, let's see, Breece Hall, okay, Max Mitchell, Zach Wilson, Garrett Wilson, or Carl Lawson. One of those guys. is the report. That's what I'll give you, Jay-Z. Okay. And if I get told that I can say it, then I will. How's that sound? One of those guys. There you go. Hopefully that does enough. All right, let's see. So we are about 12 minutes away from Connor Hughes hopping on, unless he jumps on early. I'll try to get to these super chats before we do. You guys are awesome. Again, we're watching the Thursday Thick of It, where every $5 and up super chat gets entered into the contest to win a Green Bean t-shirt. I got to wait for my liquid. Hold on. I might have one. I might do two. Hold on a second. Let me see. I think this, what it was open. Oh, I do. All right. This is good. Liquid IV's newest flavor. They just dropped it March 15th. Okay. So this is strawberry lemonade, liquid IV. We'll give this packet away as well. So we'll do two contests. This is like, I guess like 20, I think it's like about $19.99 or something on the website. So you get, what is it? 16 packets of strawberry lemonade, liquid IV, the hydration multiplier. You can also save 20% with them. I'm not sure. I might have taken the link out of there. But if you go to one of my other videos, you go to link, just go to liquidiv.com and use the promo code GreenBean Jetsfan, and you'll save 20% there as well. So Ryan King checking back in. Thank you, buddy. He says, we not only have a great med staff, but new turf. That's
true.
right.
Yeah.
You know, it's a funny thing. We did a whole show on the turf, Gunny, a while back. And the Jets are letting everybody feel like this is spin. This is optics, right? Mm-hmm. They said that because the players getting hurt, the Jets and Giants, we're going to change the turf. Everybody goes, you know what? We applaud this move. It just so happens that this is the exact year that the field turf stuff that we were using, it's recommended that this is the last year of its life. So, right, Connie?
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
It just so happens. This is true. It just so happens. This is the year they recommend replacement. So
it expired, and they were like, hey, since we're going to switch it out anyway, let's do something different.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. And they said, we're gonna take out the bad turf. We heard you all, and we're gonna respond. By the way, it's time to throw that shit in the garbage anyway. So let's get it out of here. That's what happened. Leo Vernacchio, what's up, buddy? I sent out all your shit this week. Leo's got a stockpile of green bean stuff. Let us know when you get the beard. I mean, sorry, not the beard trimmer, the lawnmower 4.0. Leo won that last week. Let us know when it arrives.
He got it.
Oh, he said,
go with my new trimmer. Yeah, I with my new trimmer.
I should read the damn comment before I start fucking blabbing. He says, Green Bean, I feel good with my new trimmer. I look good. I'm well hydrated, and damn it, people like me. I'm sure. Hopefully, the shirts and stuff are helping. Leo has everything. He's got everything we give away. He's got at least one of all of it. Well, good, Leo. I'm glad, man. And I'm glad you like the trimmer. I'm glad you're liking the liquid IV, and I like you. So I think Gunny might like you too. So that's good. It's a good thing.
I'm a big fan of Leo. I mean, I'm about to go to his Amazon store and go ahead and get some of the stuff he's won.
Yeah, there you go. Right. You're going to find out he's selling it all. That's what he's doing. That'd be fun. So let me catch up here. I got to scroll down a little bit. But hey, thank you, Leo. It's good to see you, man. E-Boogie checking back in. He says, all we need is Green Bean to go to Florham Park and have a one-on-one with Denzel Mims. I would love to. I reached out to him in 2000. Oh, that was the beginning of last year. It was the off season of last season. So I tried to get him, and somebody else tried to help me, but he didn't bite. Now, that's one of the things Connor Hughes said in his first interview with us. He said that Denzel Mims is standoffish with the press. He doesn't really grant many interviews, which is why one of the reasons they might not like him. I mean, there's that. You know what I mean? They want, when they request an interview, they want to interview you, and he kind of disallowed it. So anyway, one of those things. People get upset, E-Boogie. People get upset, man. So who knows? Who knows? But I would love to. I mean, look, my hope is that with all the things we have in the works back here, a lot of us are working on some stuff. My hope is that we're able to interview a lot more players and staff and stuff like that in the next year. The coming year is going to be big for all of us, in my opinion. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong, but I think so. I think so. And then we'll get Mims in here, man, as an Arizona Cardinal. We'll interview Denzel Mims we'll see, because he's, I hope he stays, man. I hope they use him. Scarcity's checking back in. Thank you. He says, I'd be happy with offensive tackle if he's the best player. Well, that's exactly right. I think Joe D has shown us that, man. He takes the best player. I think that's why we got Sauce, honestly. Because cornerback, was it a need? I don't think it was. I don't think it was a need. It could, I mean, we could upgrade, sure, and we did. But I think Sauce was their best player on the board. I do believe, I'll never get confirmation of this, I think Aiden Hutchinson was their number one. That's what I think. I think if Aiden Hutchinson was there, we would have had Aiden Hutchinson. But I'm very, very happy with Sauce. And there's no proof for that. That's just my own thoughts, right? I have no proof. But I do think that Aiden Hutchinson would have been the pick if he was sitting there at 4. But yeah, I think taking Sauce Gardner and then Garrett Wilson, I think shows you the Jets will take the best player as opposed to their need, which is a better way to do it. Now, the best case is the best player there is at a position of need. That's best. But reaching for need, which is what the Jets have done historically for many years. And then McCagnon was the exact opposite. He would just stockpile the same position. He didn't know what the fuck he was doing, Mike McCagnon. he had no plan, man. None. He just random as random gets. But yeah, I think that the offensive tackle is going to be it's like this scarcities. It's not always one player is here, one player. They have groups. You know what I mean? They have like categories or tiers, let me call it. So they'll have 3 players here. So if this pick comes up, these 3 players are in that tier, and then they'll pick one of those 3 players that best applies to the team. That's how it really works. But yeah, on their board, you know. But a Pooch guy checking in. What's up, Pooch guy? He says, Bean, can you tell us if it's good or bad news? Oh, did I not tell? No, I can't tell you if it's good or bad news. I can't. Because you guys will do it, man. You guys are too friggin' smart. Believe me. Guys were dude, if I say if I give one more inch than what I already did, you guys are going to figure it out. I know. And I will say, no, it isn't. And you guys will say, you're an asshole. And we're going to do a whole thing. Okay. But I can't, Pooch guy. I will tell you that the Becton stuff, I was told this, that the stories about Becton, he's 350 pounds and all that kind of stuff. He's actually under 350 pounds by a couple pounds, which is interesting. So he's in the 340s, which is like 347, 348, which is, I ain't 350 still, right? But still, that's it just shows. But they said that not only is he doing everything that they want him to do, not only are they really excited about his progress, because this year he chose to be with the Jets as opposed to on his own, and they've been watching him the whole time, so they're acutely aware of his progress, what's really going on with him, as opposed to getting reports. You know what I mean? They're watching him. And the other thing is, they said this is the term I got. Becton is, quote, a man possessed, and he's foaming at the mouth to get back on the field. So we're getting a motivated, driven, dare I say, pissed off version of a guy who already enjoyed driving people into the fucking ground. So I think that's exciting. So you get the bad news on Mims, you get the good news on Becton. Who knows where it stands? I can't wait to ask Connor Hughes exactly what this all means, if he's heard anything. But yeah, that's what it is. So I can't give you the goods on the other report, but that's what I got for here. So yeah, man, let's get to a few more comments. Gunny, what's up? You got something to say?
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking about what a motivated Becton could literally single-handedly do for that draft class. We've given freaking JD so much, flack for that draft class being a complete waste. But if you got Becton right, and he winds up becoming a Pro Bowl or an All-Pro freaking offensive tackle, like you said, for the next 10, 12 years in this league.
Oh,
the dude is capable of beastly things, man. Like, the rookie year wasn't a fluke. Like, he did some beastly things. Now he's in shape. He's highly motivated. And you know what? I said this before. This is a man now who's a father, who has more to play for than just himself, right? An example to be set. He's got a daughter to represent. Like, I think a lot of that stuff, we as men, we all want to go ahead and just take our game to a whole other level whenever we become parents. That's something I'm really excited about, seeing Becton with that level of motivation. So that's great to hear.
It's scary, dude. I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, look, I think just like with Mims, like, we conveniently forget that when these guys played, when they were allowed to play and they played, they were excitingly good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we were excited to build on top of that. And we haven't been able to see that. And it's sad and it's a bummer. And look, we have every reason to, look, NFL is like they say, it means not for long, right? If you fall off, it's it. We move on. Like that's what happens. It's a moving train. You can't fall off and think you're going to get back on the same car. You're lucky if you grab the caboose, if there's even cabooses in the real world. I don't even know. I have no idea if a caboose is a real thing anymore. But like you're lucky if you can get and stay on the train. And like a Becton, like, look, his career's passing him by, man. I mean, the last time we really saw him, well, I guess you could say it was week 1 in 2021. It was the first couple quarters of that game. And then after that, we have not, remember they said it was going to be 8-week injury and all that stuff. And I think that didn't help. It was like,
it did not help.
Why isn't he coming back? Why are they lying to us? What's going on? Is he just slow healing because he's so heavy? Is it? And we made up all these things, all these reasons for it to be happening that way. And it wasn't necessarily the case. We don't know what was real. We don't. But either way, Becton showed up last year. He had to wear a huge blue muumuu, right? It was like a huge. I mean, he looked big, dude. Let's be real, right? And I defended him and everything, but he did. He looked big, and even I was like, "Oh shit, man! Come on, dude! Like you got to snap out of it." This year, it's not that. It's not the case. He looks different, and he's not playing at 380. He's playing at 350. It's a difference. Dude, think about what that does to
That's
the
a
game.
huge difference. Oh
Huge
my God, that's a huge difference.
Yeah. Knobcraft checking in. What's up, buddy? Thank you. He says, I heard Brees is good to go week 1. I mean, I saw those reports as well. I can't tell you if I heard anything else because he's one of the names I mentioned. But how exciting would that be? Now, is he 100% week 1? Is it smart to give him the load week 1? I mean, what do you think about Brees? You think even if he's a hunch, do you think they just throw him in there and say, all right, you're our running back 1, or you think they pitch count him?
I think honestly with this thing, Brees is physically speaking, Brees will be good to go week 1, physically speaking. But again, we talked about this, I think, last week. The issue with that is not the physical component, it's his mentality. Is how is he going to be prepared mentally for trusting that knee? Can he trust that knee in regards to cuts? I personally think he is going to get some reps week 1, but I don't think he's going to be the heavy workhorse type of guy. I think they're going to go ahead and kind of ease him back into the season to get him comfortable and to trust that knee. Because again, physically speaking, from all indications, he's well ahead of schedule. Young guy, so it's very possible, you know what I'm saying? Adrian Peterson-like healing ability. So he'll be good to go for week 1. But I think it's going to be the mental aspect of it, where he's at mentally and trusting that knee.
Yeah, I agree. Green Jeans just saying he's happy to see Huff sign his restricted free agent center. I am excited. I love it. Dude, Huff, man. I like me some Huff. Again, undrafted free agent, dude. He's one of ours. We developed this guy. So that's exciting. I mean, that's still my belief is that it's better. It's more exciting when you find the guy, you bring him on mid, late, first, whatever, and you develop him into a player that can contribute at a high level. That's best case scenario. You sure it's fine to sign a free agent and bring him in here like DJ Reed or something and have him play well. That's fun. That's fine. But it's better when you can find a guy, especially undrafted free agent or 6th or 7th round pick, and they come out and they look like Huff. That's exciting, isn't it, Gunny?
Yeah, that's why I like Huff. He's homegrown. That's our guy. We cultivate him. It's like bringing the sun into the world and watching that kid grow up. So it's one of those things where I'm glad he's still here. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, he earns a contract, for a couple of years. He's a young guy who had one of the fastest get-offs in the NFL last year, one of the fastest recorded sacks last year, which to me is still insane at his size. I know the biggest knock on him has been, he's not out there because he can't stop the run. I'm still adamant on wanting to see it for myself first before we just tag him as can't stop the run. Put him out there during some run plays so we know whether or not he can stop the run. But I love his athleticism, his speed, his get-off. He's a strong cat too. I'm so pumped about seeing him sign that tender. And yes, it does feel that much better because he is homegrown talent.
I love it. I think that's the best case scenario. Weed the people checking in. He's busting my balls a little bit. Saying, hey, Beanie, anybody punch your car today? Well, I don't know. Maybe they're out there punching it right now, man. I don't know. I'm not in it. So there's that. I don't know. But no, That was a very rare occurrence. It's funny, Gunny, because I was in the parking lot waiting for my son, and there's all metalheads walking around and drunk girls wearing black eyeliner and all this stuff. And my car was the only car with the lights on. Like, I had the car running. Like, I don't know why I don't know why he would do that. He's clearly, looking for a fight. That's what I thought. You looking for a fight?
No, 100%.
I opened the door.
Or he's showing off for some girl or something like that. It's the whole thing was he was hoping that you didn't step out of the vehicle.
Yeah.
But took a shot because, you know what? This is that era and age where they know chances are you're not going to, because no one's trying to catch a case.
Yeah, I know. Evident he definitely didn't want me to, because he kept walking while I was yelling things at him. And thank God, man, just thank God that I was live. And I said to everybody, I said, dude, I'm glad you guys are here, because, I don't know. And I'm old, Gunny. I still think I'm 24. I'm like, hey, man, what are you going to do about it? You know what I mean? And I'm all old and weak and wheezing. You know what I mean? I can't breathe. I can't even walk upstairs. So it's like, who the hell am I? I'm glad it went the way it did. Everybody walked away. It's nice.
Adrenaline is a hell of a drug.
It really is. It's good.
You'd be surprised.
It happens fast, man. That's a quick hit. You're like, ooh,
it really does.
I'll take on the world, baby. Who's gonna do it? Who's gonna stop me? And then you get punched in the face. You go to sleep. And, anyway,
everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. You know what I'm saying?
It's so funny. It's so real. Leo Vernacchio checking in again. Thank you, Leo. He says, do you guys know or heard Seattle being involved in a 3-team trade? We get Rodgers. I saw some report. Any word, Seattle? I haven't heard that at all. Have you heard that?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It was an article that was written about a potential solution to this whole Aaron Rodgers thing, where they would still get their first-round pick from the Jets. But in all actuality, if the Packers did it, when you look at it, it boils down to they would switch first-round picks to get the 13th overall pick and get a conditional third is what it would in essence cost the Jets to get Aaron Rodgers. We would drop back to like the 20th pick because we would swap with Seattle, and it was just a scenario thrown out there. It's not actually anything in the works. It was more of a mock draft type of situation, and where they felt like it would go ahead and hit every wicket and everybody won. But in all actuality, if the Packers did it, they would look dumb. They would just look dumb, because they would have literally, in essence, traded Aaron Rodgers for swapping picks, moving up, I think it is 3 spots, and a conditional third that can only get as high as a second-round pick, even if we went to the Super Bowl next year. I think it's a ridiculous thought process or mock draft trade. But now I know what he's talking about, Leo. I saw it, Leo. I doubt very much any of that comes to fruition, or it's even in conversations.
I know the idea that we're talking about, like, if we win the Super Bowl, then it's like, dude, we are the longest drought in all of sports to not make the postseason, and we're really talking about this. It's amazing. I mean, and look, and rightfully so. I guess our team is strong, dude. What our problem last year was, in fact, the quarterback position. Not to say we were perfect, right? We had some issues and all that sort of stuff. Okay. Connor Hughes will be here in a second. He was doing a mock. So yeah, I get sucked into mocks too, man. I'm like, an hour goes by and I've done 9 mocks, I got everybody I wanted. I'm going to screenshot this and show everybody. Nobody cares. You ever do that? Hey, everybody, look at my mock. Everybody's like, boo.
Oh, yeah. That was me last year.
Yeah, last year. Right.
What do you guys think? I got booed quite a bit as well.
It's a funny thing. No matter how good the mock is, people are like, boo, he sucks. Yep. This is the worst.
That's trash. You're dreaming. All right, well, what would you have done differently? Let's make a conversation about this.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Kuka, he says, crazy how Hughes called Bean a slapdick podcast. Now he's a guest. Well, it's funny because he still uses that joke. He'll say that out there, like on Twitter. He's like, well, ask the slapdick guy and see. So we've kind of embraced it, which I think is cool. It's the way to do it, man. Like, look, we run into all sorts of shit in this world, right? In this life, you bump heads with people. Best case scenario, especially like, with all respect to the women of the world, some of my most important people are women. But like, men, we can do that. We could be fine. You know what I mean? My brother-in-law got into a thing a couple weeks ago. If anybody would have saw us, you would have thought there's no way this isn't going to be a fist fight. There's no way. I mean, screaming at each other. He's a big fucking Brooklyn guy. He's an old fireman. And we're screaming. We got out of the truck. And he walked up, put his hand out. We hugged, and he said, and that's why I knew we could do that. I said, of course. We're good. You know what I mean? It's just the way we got it out, and it's over. And that's kind of, I think, what's going on. So, yeah, I think it is cool. Let's see here. Mr. Green Jeans, JD loves underused tight end, Darnell Washington. So I'm telling you, man, that's the guy. You got to watch him. If you haven't checked out Darnell Washington, he's an intriguing, interesting prospect. I like him a whole bunch. And I'm telling you, I would be delighted. And look, what was the guy's name again? Again, I'm just fried out. The Packers tight end for the last 15 years. He's like essentially a blocker, right? But he's like a dominant blocker. What's his name? Anybody, Jeremy? What's his name? Watch UK. What's his name? The guy from I can't find his name in my head. You guys will know in the chat.
Packers tight end, like right now?
Well, he's old now. I don't know if he's still on the
not Bubba Franks. He's supposed to be coming. I know
they were
talking about.
Rumored that we wanted him.
We wanted
Lewis.
Mercedes Lewis. Thank you, Jeremy.
You don't think that that maybe Hackett would want a guy like that? So, all right. Well, look, our guest is here. Oh, we get to see your face. This is funny. This is good times. So let's say hello to the one and only Connor Hughes from SNY. What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, man? Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it. I'm sorry I'm like a few minutes late here. I got to do a mock draft for this weekend, or for Monday, I should say. So I'm trying to knock it out now and completely lost track of time. So that's my mistake.
Always working. Always working. Aren't you?
Yeah. Well, I'm enjoying the off season actually right now. I haven't had to work all that much because the Jets are kind of keeping that's the benefit, I guess I should say, this Aaron Rodgers thing dragging on and on and on, is that it's been a little bit more downtime than I think I kind of expected when all this was going down.
Well, have you found it difficult to like keep it interesting though? I mean, because this is like, any like quote news coming out is kind of like, all right. But like, has it been difficult, like rather than the Jets' normal off seasons, which are kind of exciting? I mean, we rule the off season generally. Has this been a little bit weird?
I think the weird and difficult part was probably the pre-Pat McAfee interview. That was probably the one where it was getting a little annoying because the Jets like started it off where it was like, basically lockdown. Everything was super, super locked down, and you had to fight and claw to get any kind of information out of anybody to kind of figure out what was going on with the Aaron Rodgers thing. Because, there was the news around, I'd say the Senior Bowl was kind of where you picked up like, oh, they're interested in Aaron Rodgers. Then you got to the NFL Combine, and a lot of people are like, no, they're going to get Aaron Rodgers. But then it was once that visit kind of happened, I think everyone was on pins and needles because they were afraid with somebody like Aaron Rodgers, where it's such a delicate situation. They just didn't want to piss him off or tick him off or anything like that, and basically create a situation where it looks like he wants to play for the Jets, to now, nah, never mind. You know what? I changed my mind. I'm going to go elsewhere. So it was hell. And like, obviously, like my bosses are on me, like, what's going on? What's going on? Everyone, like fans want to know what's going on. And it was just impossible to grab it out of there. But we kind of all started getting wind that something was coming, but it was almost like you didn't necessarily know when it was going to come, just that something was coming. And I know there was like a 3 or a 4, maybe a 5-day stretch leading into that interview where you were just like, basically under house arrest. Like, I mean, it was like I couldn't leave because like you were trying to figure out when it was coming, but you didn't really know when it was going to come. So you were like, this could come any second, and I got to be on air or write or everything. Basically, the whole world was going to explode. So that was kind of annoying. But until we got to this point now, it's almost like, and I know some Jet fans probably don't necessarily want to hear this because they just want it done, and it's not done until it's done. But I mean, the Jets are completely operating under the assumption that this guy's going to be their quarterback. I would be floored if he was not their quarterback. The mud that would be on this franchise's face if they didn't make him their quarterback. I mean, it's going to happen. I have no doubt in my mind it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. And I think we are getting to the point here with the draft coming up where now is when it's like, all right, just push this thing across the finish line.
Yeah, and I want to ask you some of those specifics. I just want to say, everybody, this is Connor Hughes, if you don't know, from SNY. We're grateful that you can carve out some time and
thanks for having me on, man. I really do appreciate it. I love the show.
Yeah, well, thank you, Connor. I appreciate that. I want to introduce you to my new co-host over here. This is Gunny from New York Jets Situation Report. So Gunny, that's Connor. Connor, that's Gunny.
I'm fully aware who Connor is. Connor is.
What's up, man?
Go
Nice
ahead
to meet
and.
you. I like the background setup, man.
Hey, thank you,
like
man.
that
I try. Man, this is crazy. I just screenshotted this and sent it to one of my boys. I'm like, hey, yo, Connor Hughes is on the show with GreenBean and I right now.
Yeah.
Huge fan, man. Huge fan. Really love to follow you on Twitter, man. It's
Thank you, dude. I
pleasure to be
appreciate
here.
that. Thank you.
Yeah, I know Gunny's got he's got the connects, Connor. He gives away like signed jerseys, and I mean he's
really?
Yeah, he's an impressive
go,
fella.
man.
He hasn't told me
That's
exactly how. I think I have a sneaking suspicion there might be a truck involved, the back of the truck. I'm not sure. I'm not making any accusations, but I got my thoughts. I want to say hello to AbLab. Thank you, buddy, for checking in. It's good to see you here. It's been a minute. So I appreciate the super chat and welcome back. It is always a pleasure to see you here. Now, Connor, we have some reports. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I have, and I make sure I make sure to tell people, because people make the assumption when I say I have a guy, I have a couple people that tell me things and that are solid. And I say, just so you know, they're like, it's Connor. And I'm like, I want you to, it's not Connor.
Yeah.
Connor doesn't give me shit. All right. Connor doesn't say anything, but like, so it's not you that gave me this. So I'm actually looking forward to asking you some of these questions just to see if you've heard anything one way or the other.
Okay.
Now I got a report yesterday that it's early, of course, right? We're in voluntaries and everything, but that Denzel Mims has yet again caused the staff to not really be enamored with his initial meetings with everybody.
I did see that. Yeah, I saw that pop up. So I think at this point, man, Denzel is who Denzel is, and I think that you love a guy who has confidence in himself, which obviously Denzel does have within himself. I mean, he goes out there and he genuinely does believe that he is one of this team's top 2-3 receivers. And I'm sure that he is a little ticked off. Now, I haven't talked to Denzel, and I don't want to put words in Denzel's mouth, but knowing him from his rookie year and then second year and things like that, it would not surprise me in the slightest if he went into this season thinking, you know what, Corey Davis is going to be let go. We've got Garrett, we've got Elijah. I have an opportunity here to step up and be the guy outside.
Right.
With Garrett, and then we have Elijah in the middle. And now is my opportunity in a big year for me where I'm going to be a starting receiver. And instead, what Denzel has seen is the Jets go out there and sign Allen Lazard. The Jets do not plan to let Corey Davis go. They pursued Odell Beckham Jr. They're being linked to receivers in the draft. And it's almost like, dude, what the hell? You know what I mean? So I know from the past, with whether it was when Mike LaFleur challenged him or things like that Denzel didn't necessarily he's not necessarily the type of player, I know this from coaches, that he's not necessarily the type of player that is responds super well to like the tough love. You know what I mean? Like the old Bill Parcells coaching, where he's almost like the guy that needs to be propped up rather than torn down a little bit. So maybe he has rubbed guys the wrong way. But I think the big thing with Denzel is that if he is on this roster and he's not involved in a trade with the Packers or anything like that, is he's just going to have to show it on the field, because that's what we kind of lacked in OTAs last year and mini camp last year and training camp last year, is Denzel really didn't pop up that much. I mean, he was talked about a lot because fans cared about him a lot. Obviously, the media were talking about him a lot. He was like a very unique, like polarizing player where people really cared where he was at all points in time. And so that's why he got that attention. But from his play perspective, he really didn't do anything that ever really looked like what he showed in flashes that rookie year, whether it was games against the Chargers and things like that with some of the plays he made. So I think the big thing with Denzel is that, like, the Jets have to operate that Denzel is who he is. They can't give him anything. The scholarship's over. So if he wants it, he's got to earn it. And to this point, obviously, he hasn't done that yet. Now, I will say, like, we haven't seen on-field anything. This is just guys lifting, basically. Like, we haven't even gotten to OTAs yet. So we'll see how he looks there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm, the truth is like I shared this with you last time. I'm a Denzel Mims believer, right? I think he's gotten a bum deal, but it's like at some point, it's like, okay, I mean, how many times can you defend a guy for whatever the reason? But I'm really hoping, just like you said, that he would just say, okay, well, this is my opportunity. Now, you mentioned Corey Davis. Are you hearing, again, with whatever restrictions you have respected?
Yeah, I got you.
Are you hearing that Corey Davis is going to be on the roster this year, or that he's not a part of this, this Aaron Rodgers trade? We're all assuming that he's going to be part of the trade. Is that not the case?
Yeah, I don't think he is. I mean, I don't think Corey is going to be involved in that. I mean, I think he was probably going to be let go or dealt somewhere along if they had signed Odell Beckham. Like that would have been something completely different. But I haven't gotten the sense that Robert Saleh was just kind of bullshitting or messing around when he was talking so glowingly about Corey Davis. And when you think about it, I mean, I'm looking forward. We talked to Joe Douglas on Tuesday. Is his pre-draft press conference, and I actually look forward to talking to him on the record about it because everyone has kind of just assumed that Corey Davis is going to be gone, whether it was via a release, via a trade, or being linked in or looped in with this Aaron Rodgers deal. And I think when actually, I remember when Robert talked at the owners' meetings, I remember looking at Zach Rosenblatt like afterwards and being like, dude, he's talking like Corey's definitely going to be here. And I did a little digging on it. And what I turned up was like, no, like they're operating under the assumption that Corey Davis is going to be here. And I thought he was going to be involved in the Aaron Rodgers trade. I've been led to believe that's probably not the case. And on Tuesday, that's something I definitely am looking forward to hearing Joe on the record talk about because, that's a fascinating one right now. Now I will say that this is just me. Like this isn't reporting or coaches telling me this or anything like that. But if Corey's on this roster, in all likelihood, he's your number 4, right? Because you've got Hardman in the slot. Obviously, you've got Lazard and Garrett. Then are your outside guys. Generally, when you have like that number 4, number 5 receiver, just from a pure game plan, game day perspective, those are the guys that are going to play on special teams. I mean, this was the whole argument on why Denzel Mims was active and Jeff Smith was active, right? Because Jeff Smith could be your gunner and Jeff Smith could do this, or other guys who can return punts and things like that. Corey Davis at this point, he's not going to be a kick returner or a punt returner or a gunner or run down there on kickoff. Like that's not what he's going to do. So I know Hardman can be your punt returner, kick returner, but you still need that gunner. And so it's almost like a unique creative situation. I don't know, maybe the Jets carry or active, this is way foreshadowing down to like, talking about game day actives and stuff like that. But I don't know. I know what I've been told and I know what the Jets are saying. I just find it hard to kind of see. I don't know. I just find it hard to see a spot for him as a guy who doesn't really have much value other than he is an outside receiver. But that's the way the Jets are approaching this, is that he's going to be on the team this year.
That's amazing. I mean, we made all kinds of assumptions, right? Like there was Carl Lawson with no guaranteed money. We thought that he might either be restructured and then Saleh comes out and says, well, he's going to be on the team till he can't walk. I mean, we love him. It's like, holy shit. And what about like CJ Mosley's $21 million? I thought they would tear it up and create a scenario where maybe he's extended and the numbers lowered. Have you heard anything about that?
So I know they have deals in place with guys like when they need to create money, they can create money. So like that's no big deal. It's funny thing about Carl though. You brought him up. Like I like Carl a lot, and I remember talking to him Baggy Day and then in the days after Baggy Day and things like that, and just leading into basically free agency and being like, dude, has anyone have you heard from anyone? And he's like, no, like I had my exit meeting. They all talked about me and how much they were looking forward to having me back, and it was like, I don't think I'm going anywhere. And I was like. Well, I was like, I know Joe's a Douglas. I was like, I know he's a shrewd negotiator and he's like a businessman and all that stuff, but like he generally does do things right by the guys, where if they were going to let Carl go or if they wanted him to restructure, they would have had some conversation with his agent. And Carl's like, dude, they haven't said anything to me. So it's like, I think he's freaking staying. And so now we're at the point, obviously, where when we finally got a chance to talk to Robert, he basically was like, yeah, he's staying. So it makes sense, right? I mean, Carl told me on Baggy Day that he had tore his Achilles again in January of last year. So he was supposed to be out until November and ended up fighting back to not only playing every single game last year, but he took part in every single practice last year as well. Wow. So that was a big accomplishment for him. I know Aaron Whitecott, the Jets defensive line coach, absolutely loves him. Robert Saleh absolutely loves him. So he's just a locker room guy. Now with CJ, I think it's a fascinating one because if the Jets want to restructure it, they can restructure, but they already did. So, I think with CJ, we're getting to the point where Joe, as good as CJ is, the Jets aren't going to want to pay CJ Mosley what they're paying CJ Mosley for very long. I mean, you get into the point where you're paying him elite level money. Well, I think CJ Mosley is very good. I don't think he is an elite level linebacker anymore, where you see some of these players around the league, like Fred Warner, for example. Right. CJ Mosley does not make a Fred Warner impact. He just doesn't. That's not something that he does. He's a very, very good player, leader, instinctive, all that stuff, but he's not that level good. You know what I mean? So I think when the Jets restructured him last year, I think it was, I mean, they kicked the can down the road a little bit and basically tied them to him for this year. They delayed the out that they had in his contract. I don't know if they necessarily want to restructure it again, because when you restructure a contract, well, yes, you do free up money in the immediacy. What you are doing is pushing and tying yourself to that player a little bit down the road. So when you see teams like the Philadelphia Eagles who routinely restructure contracts, and teams like the New Orleans Saints who routinely restructure contract, if you look at the guys that they restructure, they're generally players who are in their 20s, guys who they know are still going to be very, very good football players in 3-4 years. CJ's kind of getting to the point where you wonder when Father Time is going to catch up to him. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally.
So they can restructure him. I wouldn't necessarily rule out restructuring him, but I just don't necessarily know if that would be the best business move for the Jets right now.
Yeah, it's interesting, because there's the whole restriction on being able to mess around with his contract right now, within the year. But I thought I thought it was a foregone conclusion that they were going to tear it up and do something. But you bring up a good point where if they're thinking like, look, he's already lost a half step, and
they still could, like, they could still. I just don't think, like, they're kind of. I got to bring it up here, like, because his contract's a little unique because he's not like. It's almost at the point where. CJ Mosley, OTC. He's at the point, if I'm not mistaken, with his contract where, like, he's got a void year now, I know, in 2025, or he's got 2 years, 25, 26 are both void years. We're obviously 2023. He's got one more year in 2024. So I guess technically you could add another void year, but it's almost like, no, now we need an extension. If you need an extension, you need a raise. He's already 31. He's going to be 32. I just think we're getting to the point where the Jets are probably going to be thinking more about what comes after CJ.
Right.
Than what to do with CJ, because they can cut him next year, and that's kind of when they free 11 with 10, but you can do post June 1 to save a little bit more. So they have an out coming up there in 2024. I don't necessarily know if they want to get rid of that just yet.
Yeah, it's interesting to me. I don't, again, like all the moves that I thought were going to happen quick, still nothing. It's weird. It's the weirdest thing. And then we're out there restructuring CJ Uzoma. It's like, where did that come from? Yeah. So before we get, like, I got to be honest, we have some Aaron Rodgers stuff for you. We want to,
100%.
But and I know Gunny's got some questions. But before we get to that, I want to come around now. Another thing that I was told yesterday was that Mekhi Becton, the report that he's 350 is accurate. What I was told is actually
he told me that actually
a little bit under. But that in their words, that he is a man possessed and he's foaming at the mouth to get back on the field. And the Jets are incredibly excited about his prospect of the prospect of him returning. Is this all accurate? Is this what you're seeing? Should we be excited about him? I mean, depending on him, maybe not, hedge your bets, bring in a tackle, whatever. But do you think that, like, have you heard that the Jets really do believe that he's got a chance to, like, be the guy that they heard, or that they thought he was going to be, rather?
The way it was relayed to me was that this is the year, that this is the big year for him. Now, when you have a player who dealt with injury issues year one, dealt with injury issues year two, obviously suffered the season-ending injury in year three, you cannot rely on him at all in terms of putting any of your. It's almost like the way it was described to me is he is the lottery ticket. That, like, he is the potential $1 million lottery ticket, but you can't necessarily rely on him until you know that he can stay healthy, right? Because, and this is kind of how I've looked at the Jets offensive line. Because a lot of people are like, oh my God, they need linemen. I actually think the Jets offensive line's in solid shape. If you talk about Dwayne Brown, left tackle, Max Mitchell, who they were very, very high on last year before the blood clots, and Mekhi Becton at right tackle, Tomlinson and Vera Tucker, and then you figure they're either going to draft a center or Ben Jones will probably end up here in short order after they get Aaron Rodgers. So it's like, I think that offensive line's pretty good. I mean, is it the best in the league? Maybe not, but I think it's certainly above average, potentially a very good offensive line. But it's about all those guys staying healthy. And Mekhi has injury concerns, obviously, and that's the big one. So if you were to tell the Jets, hey, guess what? Like, if someone from the future came down and said, hey, guess what? Mekhi's going to stay healthy the next 3 years. The Jets are going to be celebrating and throwing parties because he does have all of the talent in the world. Talent has never been a question with Mekhi Becton. He is a dominant physical force. The concerns with him have been the weight and the weight leading to injury issues. Those have been the big concerns.
Right.
his weight as it is. I mean, I made a joke with him. I was talking to him a month or so ago or something like that. I was like, man, I'm going to have to write a column soon about you being too thin, like something like that. Are you going like, are you trying to convert to tight end? Like, what is this? Because he does look incredible. That's major part one is like, okay, the weight is now in check, because I don't think while he lost weight to show up to training camp, he was not at the I don't think it was a healthy way that he lost weight before training camp. You could tell he wasn't necessarily in great shape. Right now, he is in tremendous, ridiculous shape. So I think for him, the big thing is what we need to see right now from Mekhi. You can put a check mark next to it. He is in shape and as healthy as he has been. Check mark, big one right there. Now it's about get on the field, stay on the field, and be healthy. Because if he can stay on the field, if he's in shape, boom, stays on the field, boom, then now you're going to see that God-given physical talent that had everyone frothing at the mouth his rookie year really come into play.
Yeah. Now I'm right. I love that they think this is the year. And it's look, it's a different take. Like, just like you said, even when he showed up with the big bust shirt, it was a big loose shirt, right? It was like he didn't look good. And then it was like weeks later, all of a sudden he looks svelte. And we're like, wait a minute, were we seeing an optical illusion? It's like, no, he lost the weight in an unhealthy way. Correct. And it doesn't necessarily bring you into shape. You lost the weight, but he's still huffing and puffing and everything. And I think this is a much better deal this year. Yeah. I think a lot of Jets fans are excited. Even the ones, I mean, a lot of Jets fans are tentative, of course, but I think even them, even that group is kind of looking and saying, oh man, that would be, if Becton could just come in, it'd be such a big. Now, speaking of huge, we have a comment in here. You're looking pretty good today, Connor. You look like you've been working out.
I've been trying, man. It's like I think it's a combination of that and just being stressed in this housing market we're dealing with. So I appreciate that, though. I like that.
There it is. See, okay, man. We know
confidence when I walk out of here.
That's right. You can feel good. It shows, man. It's noticed. Isn't that nice?
Go. Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
It's nice to be noted. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
Mark Riz is a funny guy. So thank you, Mark. That's good. Now, before I'm going to let Gunny do the Aaron Rodgers stuff. He's got a couple really good questions for you. But before I just want to go this way and make sure I ask this question. Quinnen Williams. We were all under, like, we want this to be done.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. It'll be done. It's just like, I think the Jets, their focus right now is Aaron Rodgers. Their focus right now is the NFL draft. They're going to get Quinnen done. Like, Quinnen's not going to play for another team. They're not going to trade him. He is such a dynamic, dominant force within Robert Saleh's defense. And they know, like, I remember talking to, it's a shame he's gone because he was such a good quote. Sheldon Rankins and him basically saying, like, dude, at some point, I think it was OTAs last year, he went up to Quinnen and basically said, dude, I don't know what you were trying to accomplish this offseason, but whatever you did, you effing did it, because you are like, you're possessed. And it was just like, they realized that defense. We can talk about Sauce. We can talk about DJ Reed. We can talk about CJ. We can talk about Carl, Jermaine John. I mean, anyone you want to net rattle off. That defense runs through Quinnen Williams. I mean, he is Aaron Donald. He has the ability to be Aaron Donald level dominant, right? I mean, he's already one of the three most dominant interior defensive linemen in the NFL. But he has that ability to be that good. The Jets realize it. Joe Douglas realizes it. They're going to keep him here for a very long time. It's just a matter of eventually getting there. And I wonder if it's Quinnen. I wonder if Quinnen is almost waiting for Dexter Lawrence to get done, and Dexter's wait, because they're the last two interior guys that really need to be paid. And Quinnen's probably going to come in above them all. I just think they want to, like, if Quinnen comes, they're probably still waiting, because for the Giants, like, you want Quinnen to get settled so you can put Dexter below him, because Dexter's not Quinnen, something like that. But I mean, it's going to get done. I wouldn't worry about it. And I wouldn't worry at all about, like, Quinnen missing time in the regular season. Like,
so, but no holdout or anything like that. Because we, like, in addition to him being here, we want it to be done. Like, Quinnen's a good boy, right? We love our Quinnen Williams, and it's like, just this is the opportunity. Like, we haven't signed, given a real second contract in a long time, and this is the opportunity. We want it to be done. Not only
Mo the last one. Was Mo Wilkerson the last one?
Mo Wilkerson was the last. I mean, you look, we had the 1 year Shepherd, the Jordan Jenkins, like that
doesn't
bullshit.
count. Yeah, that doesn't count.
Right, that doesn't count. But like somebody with a real, it's Mo Wilkerson. So we want this to be done not only for him to be here, but we want it to be done right. Like no holdout, no training camp miss, no OTAs. You think it's going to happen before that?
Yeah, I would be surprised if Quinnen's missing training camp. Yeah, I mean, I OTAs maybe he misses that. Maybe it's done right before OTAs. We'll see. But I mean, again, these workouts, like I don't think it's necessary. It's a good look to be here. It's not like it's every coach will say the same thing. Like Robert was saying it over and over and over last year about Mekhi. Like it's great to be here. They need to be here. That kind of thing. Or like we want him here. Blah blah blah. But I mean, this is now business that they're working out and figuring out. I would be very, very surprised if he's missing time in training camp because Quinnen wants to be back. The Jets want to be back. The market has set what it is. And I think Quinnen's going to, like I said, I think Quinnen's deal probably going to be close to, it's probably I don't know what the real numbers will be, but I'm assuming you'll see 100 there. Like, I don't know how far into 100 because I think what was it? Payne got 95-ish, or like these guys that just got signed like 95, 96, 94. So 90, I think, was what Payne got. Like Quinnen's going to be in the 100, but it's just a matter of let's get this done. And again, it wouldn't surprise me if it's really they just want to see the last domino fall, which is Dexter, and then okay, let's fit Quinnen in above that.
Oh, that would be good news, man. I mean, right? We need Quinn. We saw with one game last year, he was out one game, and it was different. It was a whole different.
Oh, he's dominant. He is a dominant football. It's unbelievable because for a while there, he almost seemed like he was taking. I mean, it was early, but it almost felt. I remember they drafted him, and was he the? No, that was Leonard. He wasn't Josh Allen's year, was he? Was Quinnen Josh Allen's year? Which was,
he was Josh Allen, the edge rusher year.
Yeah. So I remember thinking like the Jets already have Leonard. Did they have Sheldon still? I just remember thinking like, or Henry Anderson. I was like, they had 2 34 defensive ends. You had the nose tackle, which you didn't have was the outside guy, and like McCagnon drafted another 34 defensive end, and I'm like, man, how dominant can a 34 DN really be? I mean, everyone's like, oh, it's the next JJ Watt, but there's only one JJ Watt. Like, there's only one that was ever that good, that I felt was that good. And then that first 2 years with Quinnen, he was good. He wasn't bad, but it was like almost he fit into that mold of he's a good 34 defensive end. How big of an impact does a 34 defensive end really make? And then you saw little flashes last year as that 3 tech and Robert Saleh's defense, or 2 years ago, I'm sorry. And then last year he was just a different animal, man. Like he was a freak of nature, and he is one of those players because of the person that he is. You do not need to worry in the slightest if he is the type of player that's going to get money and then go into a shell kind of like Mo did. Like, no, he's going to get paid and he's going to be the exact same Quinnen, if not better than what he was before, because he's going to want to show not only did he deserve getting it, but now he deserves to have it.
Yeah, I love it. That's exciting. And I think the same thing. He's a different cut than Muhammad Wilkerson. He's a good boy, man. We love our Quinnen Williams. He's a good boy. So this will bring us to the Aaron Rodgers portion of our program. Now, Gunny has a theory too about why, when it's going to happen and all that. But Gunny, you got a couple questions, a couple good questions. Why don't you throw one at Connor and let's see where this goes.
Definitely do. All right, Connor. So I'm sure you've heard some of the rumors going around in regards to potential suitors that are coming into play now for Aaron Rodgers. So my question to you is, do you think the rumors of other teams being interested are last-ditch efforts by the Packers organization to potentially scare the Jets into meeting their asking price?
The one that came out a while ago about the Niners, I felt was like that was like the ultimate like threat. Like, really, man? Because like I don't know, I just can't see Kyle screwing over Robert like that. I mean, there's so much good feels between the Jets and the Niners that that was the one where I saw. I was like, man, if that was going to happen, it would have happened earlier. Look, I said this earlier in the show, like whether teams get in on it late, whether the teams get in on it not. I mean, the Jets are literally constructing their playbook around Aaron Rodgers, where they're taking things and adding it to their playbook that Aaron Rodgers likes. I mean, they've been doing that for months, right? I mean, the players are under the impression that he is coming. The coaching staff is under the impression that he is coming. The front office is under the impression that he's coming. Ownership is. The only thing that I would say to that is that Joe Douglas realizes, and the Jets realize that, realize the mud that would be on this team's face and the that would be on this franchise if they do not land him at this point. Like, that's the thing. And it's, in my opinion, and from everything that I've been told to this point, is that what makes this so frustrating that it's not done yet is that the Jets' only option at quarterback right now is Aaron Rodgers, period. It's their only option is Aaron Rodgers. With the Packers, their only option with Aaron Rodgers is to trade him to the New York Jets. So you can fight over we want this, we want that, but it's almost like you guys just got to find the middle ground. And when this thing all began way back when, there was an understanding between the Jets of what the Packers were looking for. There was an understanding from the Packers what the Jets were willing to offer, and they were very, very close to the parameters of the deal were basically done way before the Pat McAfee interview ever aired, because again, we never get to the point of the Jets flying out to California to meet with Aaron Rodgers if the Packers come and they're like, this is a non-starter unless we get the 13th overall pick in the draft and something next year like a second-round pick. And the Jets are like,
Right.
whoa, we're not trading the 13th overall pick. Like, you never get to the point because they go, okay, you know what? We're never going to agree to this. We're going to the contingency plans. We're going to Derek Carr. We're going to this.
Right.
We're going to go explore. They're going to go to the. It's what normal. It's like you have the initial discussions. If you don't think something can happen, you go to the next option. You go to the next plan. They were there, and the parameters were set to get this done. And then after that McAfee interview, something changed with Green Bay, where they went from asking for X to asking for Y. And the Jets and Joe Douglas are basically like, we don't need to have this done at any time. We understand that we are your only option to trade him here. Like, you can only trade him here. We're your only choice. Let's just wait it out. You know, we don't need him here until minicamp. That's it. We don't need him here. Honestly, Aaron Rodgers probably wasn't coming until minicamp anyway. So we'll wait on this as long as we have to wait on this.
Now, it's funny because I've said that, like, why would they let them fly? Why do all that if they don't have at least the larger portion of the deal
The crossbars
constructed?
changed, or whatever that saying is, where the goalpost move or the card,
Yeah.
or whatever that saying. Yeah, but, I mean, it was done. They just Packers, and the Packers are within their right to do it. There was nothing signed, so I mean, the Packers can do that. It's almost just like, are you negotiating in bad faith? Is it like, that's my stand? I remember I said that like shortly afterwards, where it's like, dude, just get it done. And when this kept dragging on, it was like, I don't know. Like I don't know. It's frustrating, man. I think I'm just as ready as you guys are to have this.
Yeah. Well, Gunny has a theory on why this is the real reason why this is. So, Gunny, throw that theory at Connor and what you're thinking. I want to see what he thinks.
So, Connor, my theory is this, that essentially there were already two packages on the table and two packages have been accepted, right? Package one involves a trade swap of 13 and 15. There's a specific player that the Packers are in love with right now that they're waiting to see if they get a chance at him at 13 to go ahead and accept the pick swap, get that individual player that they're looking at, and then potentially make it a conditional second next year that they can go ahead and get. So we would, in essence, do a pick swap this year. They can get the player that they wanted to get, and then next year it's a conditional second. My other option is if that player is not available, they would then activate Plan B, which in essence would be pretty much, okay, we're going to take pick 42, a conditional third next year that can potentially become a first-round pick depending on the incentives. So I think those two packages are what have been holding it up, and we'll probably find out on day one of the draft when it's announced that the trade's been done, especially if the player is there or not. That's my theory on it. There's two packages in play, and that's what the holdup is.
Yeah, I think it's more so I think they're going to get one of the 2-2s. That's obvious. And then they're going to get a conditional pick in 2024. The conditions on that pick, I think they're bickering over at the moment. And there was a stance there shortly after the McAfee interview where basically the Packers were demanding number 13, and Joe Douglas was like, no, like, okay, like not happening kind of a thing. So when Goody came out at the owners meetings and basically said, like, we're understanding we might not get a first round pick for Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that was news to basically everybody at the Jets. Like, oh, okay, I guess you're coming off that now. So it's kind of been quiet over there. There hasn't been too much talking. Again, we're going to talk to Joe on Tuesday where we'll be able to kind of press him a little bit more here. But I don't know if there was that. I think it's been bickering and fighting over 13 where, the Packers wanted it. The Jets weren't willing to get it. And then if the Packers are truly off that, like Goody suggested, then you're going into, okay, what are the contingencies on the next package? Because For the Jets, I think from my understanding is that you're going into this with the expectation that Aaron's going to play 2 years for you, barring one of the two extremes. You know what I mean? Like if the Jets win the Super Bowl, then he probably retires. If the Jets go, win 2 games next year with him, then he probably still retires. But you're kind of going to the expectation you're probably going to get 2 years out of him, that he's going to play 2 more for you. Obviously, it's Aaron Rodgers, so anything can change. But if that's going to happen, then it's like, okay, well, for the Packers, you're like, well, if you're getting 2 years, we want this. But if you're the Jets, it's like, well, we need to promise ourselves we're getting 2 years. And with Aaron, he's never going to do that. So it's a very unique situation.
So what about Rick Spielman's comments that, come on, guys, this is about maximum splash, just like Philly's trade last year. Any credence to that? The NFL's kind of pulling the strings, like, hey, if you got a deal, just wait till draft night so we can have a big.
It could
boom.
be. It would. Because I've heard pretty not so great things about this year's draft class, which is also probably why Joe's trying to hold on to 13. Because you're still up there enough. Like I started with somebody, and they're like, I've got like 10 first-round grades on players this year. But
right.
They, I would maybe. That could. I wouldn't put it past Roger Goodell in the NFL at all. We'll see. But I think for me, honestly, I was thinking more of the. They've just been fighting over different things. Like first it was number 13, and now we're going up to the contingencies in 2024. And when there's not a firm deadline, like you can be in a situation here where like you make a phone call a day or send a text message every other day, and you're just dragging your feet. No one's like, honestly, there has been no sense. I know fans want it done. Media definitely want it done. But like, there's no sense of urgency until probably this week and early next from the Jets and the Packers that we have to get this done now. And if you're the Packers, look, if the Packers have the same opinion on this year's draft class, maybe they don't care as much about the number 1 this year, and maybe they do want just more picks next year. Like that could be the case too.
Yeah, it's funny. I vacillate, man. I go all over the place. I think I'm spun. I might just be exhausted of it. I'm not sure. I don't know what the hell to think anymore. I just want to. I think for Jets,
I get asked about it everywhere I go, dude. Everywhere.
I bet
they're not Jet fans. It's like one of my buddies, like not even a big football person, like, so what's the deal with Aaron Rodgers? Like, is Aaron Rodgers coming there? I'm like, dude, I don't know. I was like, all I can tell you is what I know, which is that he is going to be there at some point in time. Where they are right now, like, I've talked to people over at the Jets, and like, well, we know he's coming. We just don't know when he's going to be. It's like, it's just about the Jets saying X, the Packers saying Y, and finally both shaking hands and saying, okay, let's do this. And when neither is feeling a huge sense of urgency at the moment, there's no real reason to do it.
All right. So, guys, we're here with Connor Hughes of SNY. We got a few more minutes. Hey, are you going to – I think we have some Connor Hughes specific trivia to wrap the show.
Oh, boy.
You know what? And I meant to vet it, Connor.
Don't test me because I'm so bad like on the spot with answering questions. So
as long
as it's like that, I can do it. I always get excited when I have to you put in your password somewhere and it asks you your own security question. I get those right and it gives me like
what was your first dog?
Yeah, I knew my first. Yeah. That's right. I got my first dog right again. Yeah, awesome.
That's so funny. I've gotten that wrong before. I swear to God, I've done that. I'm like, wait. Whoa, my other dog, my first dog. Yep. I'm like, I put this in there. I'm like, but so
technically I had a cat when I was a kid, but that's not really our first pet because then we had our dog. I was like, it's very confusing. I confused.
Yeah. Well, don't worry, man. We end up, it's funny. We end up getting the trivia questions a lot, but we're the same way. It's like on the spot. All of a sudden I can't remember anything. So as the question's asked, I'm like, I don't know what to think. So, but so we're, we have a few more minutes left. I want to get just a couple more questions to you, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
I see a good question here from Elon Avital. He says, "Is Tony Adams seriously a candidate for starting free safety?" Because we all thought that we may have addressed this by now, or at minimum, we'll do it in the draft. But there's kind of a theme coming out that Tony Adams is their guy. Is this real?
Yeah, I think so. I talked to Saleh about this like early in the offseason after they traded for the kid from the Ravens, and he basically said like he really likes the safety room. So he's like, I know what people are saying, I know what they're thinking. We need to sign this guy, we need to sign that guy. I really like the way that our room's shaped up. Now, does that mean they won't draft someone in the second or third round? No. I remember talking to Joe at the Douglas and Senior Bowl, And he was saying, dude, if I go into every single offseason and my team's two biggest needs are linebacker and safety, it means I'm doing my job, because it means the offensive line's taken care of, defensive line, playmakers, and quarterback. Like, if you need a linebacker and a safety, that is a gold star for any general manager. So, I mean, I think they're pretty content with what they've got here, and Adams will certainly be in there. And I will say, where I think the Jets did legitimately drop the ball is when they let Pinnock go last year. Now, they assumed they were going to be able to get him through to their practice squad and keep him in there. And I know they weren't super thrilled with some of his maturity, and that, you know, they basically gave him an opportunity when Joyner was out to basically be this team's starting safety, and they felt that he dropped the ball a little bit and was a little immature and maybe loved the nightlife a little too much. I was like, all right, well, we're going to cut him, refocus him, and then bring him back, and maybe he'll make another run. And instead, the Giants saw him, and he's doing marvelous things with the Giants. I mean, they really are. So I think he could have been this team's starting safety this year, which was kind of what some people over there had indicated to me was going to be the case when we saw him running with the ones last year. It was like, no, he's probably more of a this year, like 2023 starting option.
Right.
But right now, I mean, Adams is in there. I think Philly Willie's in there. I think the Jets have a number of guys there that are all going to be competing for the spot. It's going to be a little bit of an open competition. And it wouldn't surprise me to see someone in the middle rounds there join the group as well. Maybe Ashton Davis finally takes off. That would be
Well, Jets Forever seems to think that's the case. He's been talking about Ashton Davis. Yeah. I don't know. Man, nothing would make me happier. Nothing would, but I'm with you. The whole Pinnock thing, it was, you know, it just sucks that, you know, we bring in all these guys for so many years, so few of them become anything, and we got a guy, we let him go, and he's good, and you know, it's like
he's not all pro, but like I think he can be a starter. I think he can be a starter in the NFL. Yeah.
Totally. All right. So last question, then we'll do the trivia. Is this if you had to be put on the spot, Connor, your we got a super chat. We'll do that too. But if you had to guess, like make a gun to your head, who's the player the Jets pick at 13, assuming we stay there?
I just picked him. What's his name? The tackle. I'm literally doing a double mock draft right now with the Giants and the Jets. It's just the fun of this new gig. Paris Johnson, the kid.
My man.
I think that's what
Let's go.
Now, if he's there, like that's the big thing is if he's there. And again, the one thing I go back on is like I genuinely do think that now, if Carter's there, the kid from Georgia, I think that's what that could potentially throw some things in the mix. That D lineman, because I talked to some people that are like that guy's like Hall of Fame level talented. Now, like I think eventually he doesn't get to 13, but he would be the one that imagine him next to Quinnen with Lawson. I mean, that could be just freaking wild. But I think this is a situation where when you go in with Aaron Rodgers, you can't take chances anymore. And while I do genuinely like and potentially really, really like the starting five group for the Jets there up front, I don't like what's behind them, and you can't just assume everybody's going to stay healthy. So I think going out there and drafting Paris Johnson, I think that would be a big jolt. Now, if he's there, I think otherwise, I think they still probably go offensive lineman there. But he would be one that he is your insurance this year. He is your starter at either left tackle or right tackle when Dwayne Brown eventually retires. And depending on what happens with Mackay and Max Mitchell, and suddenly you've got a nice little situation there at tackle.
Yeah, you saw Gunny get excited. That's his guy. So I think, I mean, I like it. I think that would be a very, very strong move. Again, even if he doesn't start this year, that insurance. To avoid what the hell we went through last year. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And having your incumbent in the, you know, already ready with a year in the system is a positive.
A chance to learn behind Dwayne too. I mean, Dwayne Brown's been there, done that. He's been one of the best in the NFL forever. Like learn behind him. Like that would be a tackle's dream, like a great situation for him.
Yeah, right. Why not? Yeah, that'd be a good situation. I agree. Joe M checking in with an interesting question, actually, a little bit of a switching gears. He says, do you prefer grass or turf fields? Now you're technically speaking a Giants fan, are you not?
I grew up. Yeah, you lose that very quickly when you start doing this as a field. I say it all. People don't believe me, and I didn't believe me when I was starting off in this. I was starting in college. I remember, the hell was his name? He was a long time writer for the Flyers. Came and spoke to one of my journalism classes in college, and I was like, "Are you still a fan?" And he's like, "No." He goes, "Dude, the longer you're in this field, you lose it, and you just root for the people and players you know." And I'm like, "Yeah, no way." And then I started this, and I was like, after a year, I was like, man, that's right. I didn't watch a Giants game this season. The second year, I was like, I couldn't even name 5 players on their roster. It was like
Amazing.
It becomes a job. Now I love my job, and I could not do anything else. I love football. I love watching games. I love what I do. But you genuinely do lose that fandom like real quick. You really do, and it's good. I prefer it that way because you get unbiased takes on what you do.
Right, I was just going to say that. Right, I can imagine that. You don't want to be doing the job with your heart out front.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct. 100%.
Asking questions like, "Hey, why did you do the thing?" You know, like I'm all pissed off. You don't want to do that. But so Joe's wondering, like, grass or turf? I know now the Jets and Giants, they gutted the field turf this year and they put in something new, but they did choose turf again as opposed to grass. You think that's a smart move? You think they should have gone grass, or do you know anything about this stuff? Like, where do you stand on that?
I think we talked to John Mayer at the owners meetings, and he said like it's starting to try kind of trend in the direction of like we'll have a grass field. It's just the problem is you have 2 teams that use it. If I'm not mistaken, they also like some high school games play on that field. I mean, there's a lot of people that are using MetLife Stadium other than just the Giants and Jets, where it's like you have to find a grass turf or a grass field that's going to withstand that beating, plus also grow when it's cold. You know what I mean? Like this isn't like Arizona or warm weather client where you can just leave it in the sun and then bring it back in. I actually didn't know about how much players hated turf until I think it was Adam Gase was talking to me about it. And like, dude, anytime we practice indoors, players are coming in complaining about their knees and their ankles because it's just it hurts. And so, I mean, if you're a player, I don't think a single player would choose turf, but from a financial perspective, from a maintenance perspective, from a technical perspective, it's easier for the league. And that's why you have so many of these guys doing it. But I think we are getting closer to where you could have a grass field. We're just not there yet. And I think a big reason for it, like I said, is Giants and Jets both use that field. I mean, there's times where you have the Giants playing or Giants or Jets playing Sunday, the other team's playing Monday with potentially a college going on Saturday or a concert on Saturday. And it beats the shit out of it. And it's like, well, now you want to talk about player safety. Now you're running on a mud pit. You know what I mean? Last thing you want to have happen is like, what Pittsburgh Stadium usually looks like there with the grass. So I think we're working there. We're just not there yet.
There you go, Joe. I'm glad to see us get a new version of the turf. We did a whole show on it. If you look at the field turf strands, there's actually loops in it. And we have this problem with all these players like getting caught in it. And it's crazy, like literally loops. So I'm glad to see that go, and hopefully this new turf we see a little bit of a decrease in those types of things.
It's also sticky, right? That's the thing is like it's the turf is sticky, and it's like it's great because theoretically you can cut on a dime, but you have these guys that are just fucking massive. Like you're talking about 6'4", 240, like just muscular beasts. Like they're running at full speed to then just have all of that mass and power stop. And then cut, like, your knee's going to give out. Like, I don't think not too many human beings were supposed to be moving like that. You know what I mean? And it takes a toll. It really does.
Yeah. So I'm looking for. Hopefully, we're moving past that, man. With we got a lot of there's hope at least because it is a new turf field. Let's see how it goes, Joe. We the people just wants to let you know he's a big fan, Connor. He's glad you're here.
Sweet. I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We the people, you're a good one, man. You're a good egg.
Celebrating 420.
Yeah, we're doing some 420 act. There's some 420 love in the chat here. So let's go. We're gonna do some trivia, and then we'll let you get out of here, and then we run a contest and all that. But I'm really grateful that you carved out some time for us. But
no problem, man. I'm glad we could finally do this. Like I said, I felt so bad when that was that time. We were just talking about it earlier. I was supposed to do the podcast with you. I was supposed to have like 2 or 3 radio hits. And I'm like, I can't. It could happen at any moment.
Yeah.
And like, if it happens now, it's like I gotta go. And it was like you were literally sitting on pins and needles, just in everywhere I was going. I would go out to like the grocery store and have my computer and like a dress shirt in the car just in case I had to do like something remote. Yeah. It was hell. So I'm happy we were finally able to get this on and do this again because it's a blast.
Yeah, totally, man. And me too. I mean, who knew we'd be all the way here and still nothing? Who knew?
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
Who knew?
I know, right?
Well, we're going to bring on our trivia master himself. This is Watu from New York Sports Wicker Media, the president of the Virginia Jets fan club himself. Let's say hello. There he is. What's up, Watu? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. Rangers ahead 4-1. I cannot complain right now.
Is that score now? I had that on when I came in here. Like I was doing the mock on the laptop and then watching the game, and I think it was 1-0 and then 1-1. Wow, it's 4-1 now. Did the Devils? I loosely, I don't follow hockey until playoffs. Did the Devils have the best record in the NHL?
Devils finished second in the division behind Carolina. They had a really good record, but Carolina won the division.
52 games or something like that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, they had a heck of a season. I think they're at that spot where, they're a good team, but they don't know how to win those types of games yet in the playoffs.
Gotcha. Okay, they're young, right? Aren't they super, super young?
Yeah, really young.
Yeah. Gotcha. Cool.
Like 26 years old is their average age. Pretty crazy.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow.
Nice. Well, Y2K, I want to let you know I'm handing you a little bit of trust tonight. I didn't vet this Connor Hughes question. I said I was going to, but I didn't. So I'm trusting you, my friend. The rules are as follows. Y2K will ask us a question. We have 4 minutes to answer it, everybody. The rule is we are not allowed to use search engines, encyclopedias, or call a friend. It is on our own knowledge. This is an honor system. We ask that everybody adhere to it. And with that said, Y2K, you are up.
So I actually had quite a few questions that I could have gone to, but I did, Connor, I got to admit, I did a little bit of research and I saw, not that kind. No, but I did see that I saw your first year on the Jets beat was 2014. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So I decided to come up with a little bit of trivia about the 2014 Jets season.
Oh my God.
Because we want to see how much you remember from your rookie season.
Okay. That's a tough one. Okay.
All right.
So I'm trying to think.
So I'll throw out. We'll just kind of see how this goes, but I'll throw out one question. So if we're gonna do 4 minutes, let's see here. Let's try this one. Name the 5 Jets that season who led the team in receptions for the season. So the 5 Jets with the most receptions in 2014, and your time starts now. We're gonna give this to Connor. I'll be watching the chat, but I want to.
Can I go? So I go.
Yeah.
And I have to name 5 of them.
Yep, the 5 who had the most receptions for the season.
Okay, I'm going to go Decker.
That's number 1, 74.
Curly.
Ooh. Curly is number 2, 38.
Curly.
All right.
Curly.
This is a wild card. I don't know. Cumberland?
Cumberland is incorrect.
Oh, damn it. Who's that tight end that everyone always asks me if he was fat? I forget his name now. Maybe you guys can fill me in on why. So who's the running back that year? I don't know if he caught passes.
I know I'm drawing blanks.
Chris Ivory was the running back, wasn't he? Because Idzik drafted him. I just don't know if he caught passes.
It is not Chris Ivory.
Okay.
I'm watching the chat. They've got 2 more. See, we got such a smart chat.
I'm thinking Safarian Jenkins. Is Safarian Jenkins in
No,
there?
he didn't come around until Todd. Todd brought Safarian Jenkins in after the arrest.
Damn.
I got Decker.
Don't worry, random Jets fan. I'm not going to blow it. Yeah, I think the chat's got all of them. I think.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, Connor, let's just see. So you got Decker, you got Curly.
I'm trying to think of the tight end. Is it the fat white tight end?
He's definitely white, but hey, fat's in the eye of the beholder.
Everyone asked me that. Everyone asked me why he was fat, and I was like, I don't see this. God, what was his name?
I never thought of this guy as fat, but
neither did I. That's what I didn't understand. But it was everybody tweeted it to me. Oh, is it him though? Is he?
It's
one of
Jay
them?
Samaro.
It's Jay Samaro.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Right. Well done, Connor. You had it. You had it.
Yeah, tied with Jeremy Curley for second with 38 receptions that season.
Wow, so we had a decent. Okay.
I know. We wouldn't have thought that. So then you got.
I would have never gotten Amaro. I completely forgot his name. All right. The last one's probably a Y. Well, unless there was a running back.
Yeah, Tigo killed it. I gotta say, Tigo knows his stuff, man.
Chris Johnson,
CJ2K. He was
there. We go.
24.
There we go.
Holy shit! I forgot that guy even existed. Yeah. Wow.
Okay. I forgot about Chris Johnson.
And there's one more. And this guy had 29 catches.
Kellen Davis was the next year. I'm lost. I'm out.
Wide receiver that they traded for.
Oh shit, Percy Harvin.
You got it.
Yeah.
Percy Harvin.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. That's right. I completely forgot they traded for Percy Harvin. Holy cow. There you go. Thank you for the tip there. Yeah. Wow.
I'm going to tell you though. Right. Well done, man. Well done. That was all you.
I'll tell you what. So the tough thing was like, I was in college that year in 2014, so I wasn't like full-time covering them. So I would like leave class early to go cover practices and stuff like that, and did home games, and then would cover road games from like my college apartment. So I wasn't like full-time in there where you get to know the team like every day through OTAs, mini camp, training camp. But yeah, that was quite, I think that was the same year where didn't they beat the Raiders in week 2? And that was like the Chris Ivory was pointing up to the sky on like a breakaway run or something like that. And then I remember like that was a big deal because he almost didn't score. Or he started celebrating at like the 25-yard line or 30-yard line. They almost caught him. That was a hell of a year. Very, very, very wild year. And then Gino's perfect game at the end. Oof.
Yeah, which I was at that game down there in Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the day. That was Rex's last game ever. I thankfully I had field passes, so I was down there. There was a kid next to me holding a sign that said "Thank you, Rex," and he ran over to us, shook our hands, and CBS caught it. And all my friends called me and said, "Holy shit!" Yeah, it was real cool. As a matter of fact, hold on, let me see here if I have it. I think I have it right here. I'll show you the picture. I got to change the background. Here it is. Here's the picture. That's me and Rex.
Awesome.
That's me, my
That's
wife,
awesome.
and my son, with my hat. There it is. So yeah, cool moment.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And we all thought Gino, hey, 9 years later, it worked out for him, but not for us. Not for us. But yeah, man. So Connor Hughes, everybody, and well done, dude. I'm impressed. Honestly, I thought there's no way.
Thank you. All that information, like to think like it's in my head, but then I can't remember what I ate and all useless information.
I want to say, Paul Boy Green Esden is in the chat saying, "Nice job, Mr.
There we
Hughes."
go, man. I appreciate that. I got to hop on. I think he was actually one of the guys as well that asked me to come on like the same gap, and I was like, dude, I can't do a single anything. I'm basically in purgatory right now.
Yeah,
but now I'm free until it actually happens. Now I'm like, if it happens, it happens. I don't care where I am. I'll stop. I'll get home when I get home.
Yeah, we're all slap happy, man. It's all weather beaten now. I got whatever, man. Whatever, you know. But Paul, as you guys know, from the Jet Zone podcast, but now the Sick Jets podcast, which is amazing. I was just a guest on there. Thank you, Paul. It's always nice to see you here. But Connor Hughes, I want to thank you for coming on, man. Again, it's nice that we were able to do it. And look, I appreciate all the information, and it's really nice to have you on. And really, I wish you a good night. Good luck with your mocks and all that jazz.
Yeah, and everyone who knows me knows I hate the draft, so this is like totally anti-me. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. And anytime you want to have me on again, just let me know. You guys got my number now, or you've had my number, GreenBean. So whenever you want to talk, I'm always down to come on. This is a blast. Awesome.
Well, there he goes, everybody. Thanks again, Connor Hughes from SNY, hanging out with us here. Now, I meant to bring Jeremy on, and I feel bad, so I'm going to bring Jeremy on now. I get caught up. Let's say hello to him. Jeremy, I'm sorry, buddy.
No, don't feel bad. Yeah, you don't want to crowd the show or anything like that. Like, that's a special guest. I'm glad that Connor had his, that had the focus and got to answer all those questions and everything.
Yeah, that was good stuff. And he basically corroborated what we were talking about, both with Mims and Becton. We had good Quinnen Williams news, which is nice to see. So yeah, I mean, look, it's early. It's an early day in the Jets 2023 season, but news is still news, and reports are still reports. Rumors are still flying and everything. So it's nice to just, at least get something out of camp that's kind of underneath the media umbrella, some of our own information. So I appreciate him answering so honestly. It's nice rather than kind of, some tech, some stocky kind of answers. Well, we'll see how it goes. He answers, and I appreciate that. It's nice. It's fun. It's more fun that way. And you guys in the chat, you were awesome. There was lots of great conversations going on. I put up a few comments, but again, like Jeremy said, I wanted to make sure not to distract. I wanted to get information, man. That's what I wanted to get you guys actual meat to chew on, as opposed to the bullshit that we see, out there a lot, because everybody's trying to create rumors to do what they're doing. It's dead season right now. So everybody's trying to do that. I wanted to get us some good stuff, and I think we did that. What do you think, Gunny? How'd you feel about this one? You have a good time? Or do you think,
bro, this was absolutely fucking awesome, GreenBean. That like I'm sitting here all starstruck and shit. Like, oh my god, I'm on a freaking podcast with GreenBean and goddamn Connor Hughes. Like, how the hell is this real life right now? So yeah, no, I had a great time. I had an outstanding evening this evening.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad, man. And Weed the People's leaving us. He's going to go do some fishing, night fishing, man. I don't even know where the hell you are. It could be sunny daytime. You could be with Braden down there in New Zealand. I don't know where you are.
Well, that's 732 suggests New Jersey, so
It does.
Yeah, but maybe that just means he's, he has 732.
He could be in Puerto Rico. I know he's planning to go to Puerto Rico sometime very, very soon.
it might
He
be
could be out there.
It's only an hour difference, though. It would still be night. It is dark.
Yeah,
I don't even know
you're
what
right.
time it is. I'm telling. I am lost in the sauce, dude. I don't know what's happening. I wanted to do one thing today. I had this little article to write. I was so busy today, I couldn't even do one word all day. So I don't know where I am. I'm just like, I just know I have to be here at 8:00. Like, that's it. Everything else, I'm just running around and shit. And I just get here. So it could be 4:00 in the afternoon, maybe somewhere. I don't know, man. But we, the people, have fun with your fishing. And thank you for the super chat, man. It's appreciated. So it is time to give away this packet of the newest flavor. Can you see it? Strawberry lemonade, everybody, of Liquid IV, the hydration multiplier. Again, if you use the promo code GreenBean Jetsfan on the Liquid IV site, they will take 20% off of your order. In a similar fashion as our sponsor for this show, which is Manscaped. You can save 20% on the Manscaped website at checkout by using the promo code GreenBean. So GreenBean on Manscaped, GreenBean Jetsfan on Liquid IV. But we're going to give this away, and then we're going to give away a GreenBean t-shirt. This one is first. Jeremy, how many qualifiers? We're a little bit light tonight, but how do we do?
a little bit light one, but there was a bonus. I gave somebody 2 entries because of their generous super chat. I made up my own rule, you know.
You fucking went ahead. You're just rogue. I love it.
$50 super chat gets you 2 entries.
Oh, you know, I meant to ask Ablab because Ablab won the Jets Jack. Remember that? So he won. He's got the 5th and final Jets Jack that Phil Adams made. I forgot to ask him if he got it and hung it up and all that jazz. Next time I see him, I will ask him that. Paul wants us to know. Our buddy Boy Green says, "I need Manscaped. My undercarriage is untamed." How to use that? Well, you know what the good news, Paul, is that there's a flashlight on the Lawnmower 4.0. So it's a whole new world, buddy. You know, like you look down there now, you're like, holy shit, I'm in trouble. You get the Manscaped lawnmower and the flashlight, and it's like, oh, I can do this. I know exactly what I need to do now. That's what my experience. I'm like, holy shit, this is it seems so simple. It's the greatest thing ever. That little light, I think they don't call it a flashlight. They call it something else. Spotlight. They call it the spotlight. So there you go. You're going to spotlight that undercarriage, buddy, and get it all taken care of. You'll be a happy guy, I assure you. And get that 20% off, man. Ablab said he's got it. Where's Ablab? Is he here still?
I don't see him in there.
Maybe Phil fucking got his number and called him. Who knows? Phil, he knows an ingenuitive. Wait, is that the word? What's the word? Ingenuitive? It doesn't feel right, Y2K. What's the word?
Ingenuity. I've heard of ingenuity, so I guess
Yeah.
if you have
Yeah,
ingenuity, that would make you
different.
ingenuitive.
He's an ingenuitive fella.
I'll go with it. Yeah, but I wonder who's more ingenuitive, Broderick Jones or Paris Johnson or Peter Skoronsky. That's what makes the difference for me in my scouting.
It's big.
report.
It's big in our draft assessments, is it not?
All
Ingenuitive.
about ingenuitiveness.
That's right. Yes. Oh, that's great.
That was
all right,
John's next big problem, is lack of ingenuitiveness.
yeah. Why don't you like him? Dude, his ingenuitiveness, it's not what I need.
It's just subpar. It's just subpar. I can't do it.
Subpar.
Good broad jump, but bad ingenuitiveness.
That's great. Mark Riz says, Paul George Bush Esden. There it is. It's your new name, Paul. That's great. That's funny. All right, so let me get the number randomizer up here. So how many do we have total tonight?
11.
11. Okay. So we got 11. So we're going to go ahead and update this. Now, the first one is for the Liquid IV. Okay. Right here. Let's go ahead and generate. Are we ready, guys? Are we ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
Let me stop covering Jeremy's face here. and we will do it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Number 5. Who is it?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Scarcities.
Hey, first time winner.
Leo has been upset.
Leo's like, that's bullshit.
Unless that's Leo's pseudonym. I don't know.
That's mine. That's my Liquid IV. But yeah, that's okay, Leo. You know, but and he's still got another chance to win another T-shirt anyway. But so scarcities, the way that this works, my email is in the description of the video. Go ahead and email me your address, and I'll send it out. Well, hopefully tomorrow, but sometimes Saturday or whatever. On the next day or two, I'll ship that out to you, and you can enjoy some Liquid IV, and then let us know what you think, man. So congratulations, scarcities, with the first win. So let's do it again. Now do the same. Do this. Whatever you do, Jeremy. It's fine.
Top one.
It's still 11. Well, no. All right. It's still 11. Here it goes.
Right.
So here we go. All right. 3, 2, 1, 2. Number 2.
Number 2 is AbLab Studios.
AbLab. All right. AbLab wins a GreenBean T-shirt. AbLab, our good buddy, go ahead and email me your information, and I will send you out. Well, your information and the size, color, and style of T-shirt that you want. My merch shelf is right below the video. You can see all my stuff there. And let me just tell you guys, man, the shirts are. I had an experience. I had an original shirt company, and they were dog shit. Okay, so like even the ones I had, like you wear it twice, and the everything was gone. It was like it washed off all the artwork and everything. So we went hard at this thing, and we got great T-shirts. They're super comfy. They're super soft. The logos and all that stuff, whatever the design is, lasts for a long, long time. And I wear shirts. I mean, like especially like my sweatshirt, I wear it like every day. I'm just I outwear stuff, and everything's still there. So it's a great shirt. And by the way, if you guys want to purchase them, I keep my prices low. I don't even make money on them. So I just want you guys to have them. I think they're like $15, $16, something like that. I'm the cheapest shirts on the market because I'm not doing this for money. I want you guys to have the shirts and wear my ugly ass face on your chest. That's what I want. So that's what we're doing. But AbLab, go ahead, reach out to me, and I'll send that out right quick to you and get you the GreenBean shirt of your choice. Indeed, you did. You won, AbLab. Congratulations. And I was going to ask you, did you get the Jets jack? Are you hanging it up in AbLab Studios, man? That would be awesome. Let us know if you got I forgot to ask you that. But yeah, you won the T-shirt tonight, buddy. So congratulations. My email's in the description. Go ahead and contact me, and I'll send that out to you. So congratulations to AbLab and Scarcities. What's that? What's again?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I do have to jump. So I just want to quickly say, give you a quick goodbye, but I have to actually get off right now. So I do apologize about that.
Where are you going?
We've been having some tech issues here in the house, and I have to basically reset my whole router with the cable company. So my signal's about to get knocked out. So I didn't want to get cut off right in the middle of it. So yeah, I have to do it like now.
No problem. Well, hey, man, good luck with all that. Sincerely, I hope it's just a quick reboot for you, buddy.
It's been going on for about 4 days. Got new equipment, still not working quite right, but at least we're able to do the show. So, all right.
Yeah.
Good to see you, everybody.
Thank
have
you
a great
for
night.
a great question,
Good night,
Y2K. Sincerely, that was great. Thank you. I appreciate it. Awesome.
All right. Be well, everybody. Go Jets.
There he goes, Y2K, president himself, checking out to fix his tech issues. Guys, that's the show tonight. So, all right, I agree, Paris. My logo is classic. It's right there. See it? Boom. Look at that thing. You know who designed that? Is the guy who wrote King of Staten Island, the movie with Pete Davidson, the writer of that, and he wrote for Saturday Night Live. He's my buddy, and wow. I reached out to him and said, "Hey, dude, can you help me out?" He's like, "Yeah." I sent him a picture, and he gave it back in 2 days. So here you go. Oh, I fucking love it. I was like, "Oh, it's so good, thank you." That's it. So yeah. Nice favor from a friend. Oh, AbLab says that the Jets jack is up proudly. That's amazing. I love it. I love it. I really do, man. Mine's up proudly, right? Jeremy has it right there. Look. There it is. We love that thing, Phil. You know what we should do? I mean, I don't want to devalue the 5 that are out there, but we should sell these for charity or something. We should do that. I think wouldn't
Like
everybody wouldn't you want a Jets jacket?
I would definitely throw in money to get one of those. Like you have to like donate to go ahead and get your name thrown into a raffle to like there's just 3 left being made, limited edition. Yeah, I would put a couple $100 to try to get one of those. Yes.
Amazing. We should do that, Phil. Phil, let's chat. I don't want to put you to work or anything, but maybe some mass production, a couple thousand. What do you think? Do you make them with your hand? He sews them, I think. I think he sews them himself.
It's for charity.
Anyway,
it's for charity.
That's right, for charity, man. Everybody's having a good time. And yeah, look, thank you guys. This was a fun show. I want to thank Connor Hughes for hopping on. If you guys missed it, just back it up an hour and you'll get to see. We asked him some real shit, man. We wanted to find out some information. We got some tidbits from another source, and we wanted to bounce it off Connor, and essentially he corroborated everything. Everything that I heard was seconded by Connor, at least in some respects, to some degree, I should say. It's nice to hear that. So, some bad news, some good news, but it's early. And look, I think what I'll take away is that Quinnen Williams ain't going nowhere. It might not happen tomorrow, but it's going to happen, and that's good news. And I like to hear that because Quinnen will be the jersey I buy. I have not purchased. Now, Jeremy sent me a Becton jersey, and you saw that went. I had some guys give me a Sauce jersey, so we have that now. But I have my Klecko, I have my Gas, and all those old players. But I haven't been able to buy a Jets player, an active player's jersey, in a long time, man. And it's for obvious reasons. If Quinnen, the moment he gets signed, I'm buying myself a Quinnen Williams jersey. That's the truth of it because I love him. He's my favorite Jet, I think. And right there with Garrett Wilson's up there too, I have to admit. But damn, I love Quinnen. So we got to get him signed. You guys are the best in here. Thank you for being here. What is this? Merch for? Yeah, there you go. Get that green. That's right, man. You know what? I'll tell you what. If you guys want it for the Virginia Jets fan club, I'll work out like a sample deal or something. I think I can do that. I don't know. But you guys are the best. Jeremy, what do you got coming up? Anything interesting?
Yeah, Dom will kill me if I don't say it. Sunday, we're doing our second annual Wheel of Chaos. So after we do some analysis, we do a draft, and Dom C created a Wheel of Chaos where we spin the wheel, and it says all these different things that you have to do, all these random things. Last year, Paul Green jumped in because he was all excited by it when he saw it. So who knows who'll jump in this year and be part of it. Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, the Wheel of Chaos mock draft, final player analysis, at least on my channel with Dom C for the year. Before the draft.
Amazing. The Wheel of Chaos. I love it. Now that's when I got to watch that. When is that?
That's Sunday, 9 p.m. I'll send you the link too if you want to jump in.
Oh, maybe I will. That's good. Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate you.
Dom C wants to have an after-hours show. I don't know. I'm tired, man. And it's 10:20. I mean, I purposely ended it at 10, even though it's 10:20, but I ended it, so I could go to sleep. Yeah, let me think about it, Tom. I don't know. Maybe you guys want to do an after-hours show.
You do have a super chat, just so you know.
Oh, I do.
I can't be Dom because my wife, I hear her banging away with pots and pans cooking dinner, so she'll kill me.
Yeah, so there's no after show for you. Ryan wants to know, was that Dick Chimney? Who? What was Dick Chimney, Ryan? I don't know what that means. What, Connor? No, Connor Hughes was Connor Hughes, but I don't know. Gunny, what do you got coming up, buddy?
Well, lately I've just been pretty much chopping it up with my guys, doing some mock drafts. We just did one on Buffalo Jets fan channel last week. Got another one coming up on this coming Wednesday. There hasn't been, so I look at it this way, right? My channel ain't big enough yet for me to go ahead and drop news every day, and you guys are getting the same repetitive news from some of the big wigs. So I'm not gonna waste y'all time and just posting the same stuff over and over again. So I'm waiting for some good stuff to come out for me to actually speak on. But you can catch us doing the mock draft next week. I think it's on Wednesday, right? Chaos? Is it Wednesday? Next week?
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah. Well, on Buffalo Jets fans channel, we're doing another mock draft. I think it's the first 43 picks. of the draft. So we had a good time doing
43.
Yeah, just to the Jets. So like it was fun. We did it last week. Yeah.
First 43 picks. All right, so that's good. That's exciting too, man. We got some fun stuff coming up. Now, I'll remind everybody here that the biggest show of the year for Jets content, guys, has to be the Talking Jets panel draft weekend. We are doing that again this year. This will be our 4th straight year. We have Matt O'Leary, myself, and Ryan over at Jets Talk 24/7. We're starting. What is it? 6 p.m. or something, whatever it is, on Thursday for round 1. We have everybody coming on those 3 days. Everybody you can think of is coming on to say hi with us. We'll have everybody. It's going to be the best, man. It's grown every year. We had like 110,000 people on there last year in that 3-day period. So we're expecting bigger things this year, and we have a great weekend planned for you guys. I hope you guys can make it. Again, that's at Jets Talk 24/7. I'll also remind you that we have the final 10 o'clock mock of the 2023 season on Monday, and it's going to be a fun one. We're doing a full first round with Matt, Ryan, Dom C, Jake Asman. We're coming on. We're going to do a full first round with you guys. It's going to be a fun night. I hope you all can join us 10 p.m. on Monday for the final 10 o'clock mock. We're just going to do that full first round and get it done like we've done the last couple of years. And again, I hope you can come, man. Hang out, dude. Let's get draft week started right with the 10 o'clock mock. And with that all said, guys, I thank you. If you have not hit the milk thumbs button on the way out, please do so. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, that would be greatly appreciated. And with that all said, you guys have a great night. Gunny, Ryan, Jeremy, fucking almost called you Jim.
He's on repeat. He's on repeat. He's on repeat, Chaos.
Jim, dude. And I want to say goodbye to Frank, NYJ today. See you, Frank. It's good night. Have a great night, everybody. We will see you next time.
Yeah, here we come, baby. Here we come. Here come the Jets, baby. I want to kiss you.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah. You want to run or you want to duck down? You want to duck, just go over there and get onto the bench and stay there.
You play to win the game.
My message for the fans, we're all frustrated with where we are right now.
Jets, Jets, Jets.